There we go. Sorry. I was talking and I could hear myself, but apparently I wasn't on screen. Anyways, welcome everybody. Kouri Richins, day 4 of like 1 million at this rate. Apparently this gets really good today because we have somebody who, based on who I was talking to, told me apparently this is a really bad day for Kouri Richins. So let's get started into it. Hellraising Angel, hello. How are you? I can't believe Sean would lie about the time. I know. Just like when your dad says he loves you. Edward says, why does Kouri get a dream team if a dream team of lawyers of the state is paying? Well, the more high profile your case, the more higher end the attorneys are going to be. And she probably got some of the best court appointed or public defenders in the state. And that makes sense because it's a pretty sophisticated case. So, but let's get to it. Let's get to it, chat. The Louis Rossman drama. Yeah, I saw that. A little bit. I saw there's a bunch of weird stuff going on there. So we'll take a look at that. My Instagram gets a 41 on that body count checker site. And then be jamming. It's a new member. Thank you again for support. Big frickin' support to start the night, chat. Big support. Says, you sure it's a dream team? I mean, once again, guys, what are they going to do? Kouri Richins is kind of screwed from what it looks like. So that's a problem. You can only craft a statue out of turds. Like, and it's going to be a statue made out of turds. If you craft a statue out of marble, it's going to be beautiful. But if all you have is a pile of dog turds, that's all you got. Coverage is all you watch? Well, thanks. But anyways, let's get to this. Let's do it. Here we go. It's crazy it's still going and stuff. I just don't understand that. But yeah. So let's Kouri Richins Day Faux show. Here we go.
In that way, so they do not have to speculate about whether that's continuing. Okay. Mr. Bloodworth, anything further on that?
No, Your Honor.
Oh.
Ms. Nestor.
Oh, shit. Some of the jurors may have been identified. Spoiler alert. So let's get started here.
Excuse me. And
remember, this is the woman in charge of handling evidence in the coroner's office and what gets passed around. She is testifying. She was on cross, and we are going to catch up to that here. Here we go.
Mr. Bloodworth, anything on the record before we begin this morning?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Nestor?
no, sir.
Is Ms. Gibson close by?
She's ready.
Okay. Are we ready for the jury?
Yes.
Thank you. I'll get that happen. Ms. Nestor, are we ready?
This is still the coolest name. That's still a cool name for a prosecutor, Mr. Bloodworth. John Gortson, any chance for a Clyde sighting? Well, yes, because Louis here. He'll definitely do it.
Thank you for our screen.
Hey, Clyde.
Very good.
That's really nice.
Thanks very much.
Great.
Hi, Louis. Let Clyde in. No, Louis out. Louis out. Clyde, come here. No. Come here, Clyde.
Feel free to have a seat. Thank you.
He is here.
Please have a seat. Good morning. Thank you for your patience. We will continue with cross-examination of Ms. Gibson. Ms. Gibson, you are still under oath. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Nestor, please proceed.
May it please the court. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to try this one more time. So when we were last speaking yesterday morning, we were talking about an individual from the United States Postal Service named Agent Travis Smoot that was present on the search on the 12th. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And you mentioned that one of the reasons he was there was to just look for any evidence that might have come through the Postal Service, right?
Yes.
Well, was there another reason he was there?
I believe he was also there to test any drugs
for narcotics.
Right. And the reason that you all asked him to do that, or well, I'm not going to say y'all anymore. The reason that he was asked to do that was that there was a thought there may be fentanyl in the home. Is that correct?
Correct.
And the reason that you all thought there might be fentanyl in the home, that you personally thought there might not be fentanyl in the home, or there might be fentanyl in the home, was because you all had been informed at that point from the medical examiner's office that there was a positive result for fentanyl in Mr. Richins' body. Is that correct?
Correct.
So on the 12th, when you and your team,
I'm sorry to interrupt, Ms. Master, but it's April 13th.
I'm sorry, what did I say?
I don't want to confuse the dates.
I apologize. I meant to say April 13th. Did I say March?
You said April 12th.
Oh, April 12th. Okay.
I don't want the dates to get confused.
Thank you.
Understood.
Thank you very much. April 13th. When you and your entire team were in the home on April 13th, all of you were aware that there had been a preliminary finding that fentanyl was at least partially responsible for Mr. Richins' death, correct?
Correct.
When you were there, you noticed, I'm sure, and you have noticed since you've done the Matterport videos, that there was a very large garage detached from the home behind the home, correct?
Yes.
And in that garage, did you all examine any vehicles that were in that garage?
Not that I recall.
Are you aware, or were you aware then of what vehicle Mr. Richins regularly drove in?
Not that I recall, no.
Did you know whether he had a work truck, personal truck? Did you know any of that?
I believe he had both.
And were those vehicles within, you're about a month away from his death, a little over a month and a week. Did anybody search his vehicles?
I'm not sure which one you're referring to.
Well, how do you know if you don't know which one it
That
is?
was inside the main garage.
I mean, you don't know if you don't
Personal
know.
vehicle, right?
I'm assuming it's a personal vehicle. I don't know for sure.
Were any of the vehicles that Mr. Richins drove in the detached garage searched?
I don't believe so.
I'm also interested in that warrant that you had on the 12th. It was also included, I did it again. It's because I have the 12th right on my paper, so I'm fixing it right now. The 13th. The warrant, the search on the 13th, it was also for electronics. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you were looking for electronics that could have belonged to either Mrs. Richins or Mr. Richins, correct?
Correct.
And did you find in the home Mr. Richins' computers?
I don't believe so in the home.
At some point, you did take Mr. Richins' computer into custody or into your custody, correct?
We've located a computer in the office shop. I'm not sure whose computer that one was, so.
But in fact, didn't you actually get the computer from Mr. Todd Gabler?
If that's who turned it in, yes. I'm not sure who exactly turned it in.
So being the person responsible for everything that was checked in on the day of the 13th, when you all did the search, did anybody turn in a computer from Mr. Richins on that day?
I don't believe it was that day. I'd have to double check the records on which day it was booked into.
And if you check your records, would you be able to tell, strike that. So just to be crystal clear, on the 13th of April, Mr. Richins' computer was not in that home or the detached garage where his office was located, correct?
I don't believe so, but it's a large home and I'm not sure who owns what.
Sorry, Dr. Nick. Hopefully
Did you
that
ever go back
fixes
and
it
get a
for you.
warrant to search that truck that Mr. Richins drove on a regular basis?
Which truck are you referring to? The one that was in the home or outside?
The red truck.
Yeah, I believe we searched it that day.
The red truck?
I believe that's the one that was inside the garage.
Okay. There was a picture in the, strike that. We're not going to talk about that right now. Did you ever go retrieve any of Eric Richins' personal items, either vehicles, computers, anything, from his business partner, Cody Wright?
I did not personally know.
Do you know if anybody did and brought them to you?
I believe so, yes.
And what items were taken from Cody Wright and brought to you?
I believe it was a computer or a hard drive from a computer.
And before, were you present when that hard drive was obtained from Cody Wright?
No, I was not.
And just to keep the searches clear, when you were doing your Matterport, did you prepare kind of like a key that has all the purple dots are from this search, all the orange dots are from this day's search, all the green dots are from this day's search? Did you prepare a key like that?
Yes.
All right. Can we please pull up States Exhibit 1-15 and just show it to the witness, please? Can you see that?
I can.
Is that the key that you prepared?
It is.
And it has a link on it where if you click on the link, it'll take you to those Matterport walkthroughs, right?
Correct.
Okay. And has this been altered in any way since you prepared it?
No.
Your Honor, at this point, I would move to admit States Exhibit.
Can we, sorry, before we do that, can we have a side note?
Yes.
Hold on. Let's make sure we know.
I-
Oh, you mean with the judge? Or what are we asking?
Pause for just 1 second.
Okay.
Make sure we act this.
What? Hold on. Wait, what is she? What? Whoa! I feel like I'm in like Rockefeller skate. Whoa. What? Did she just call timeout? What do you mean she gets a side note? What the fuck is this? What is this? Well, yes, that's a schnoz you can mountain climb on, but what is this? What? Huh? What? This is weird.
Now, Ms. Sherman, with that redaction, any objection to states 1-2?
I can't show it to the jury.
Hold on, not yet.
No, I need to clarify.
So was it they were showing an exhibit that wasn't redacted or what?
I want to make sure this box is going to travel when we publish it. So just one moment.
Sorry. May we approach?
Of course.
Yes. What the hell just happened though? This don't make no sense.
Ms. Sherman, I need a yes or a no here.
Just a moment.
Perfect. Ms. Sherman, I need a yes or a no here.
Just a moment.
Yes.
Yeah, if they could just be in black so we know that they're not just removed, so that it looks like a redacted version.
Hi, Kyber. Can I put you
That
down
would be
to the
helpful.
I gotta put you down to the ground.
Any objection?
Okay, here you go.
No.
Okay. 1-15 as redacted is now published.
So, no worries. Thank you, Your Honor. So that list right there, that is the list of the dates of every single time through December of 24 when the home was searched by law enforcement, correct?
Correct.
And in your Matterport videos, which have been introduced, if the jury wants to use this key, they can go back and compare. The little pink dots were from the search on March 5th, and the magenta dots were from the search on August 9th, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Since this list was prepared, you all have been back to the home again, right?
Correct.
And what date did you return to the home that is not listed on this list?
I don't remember the exact date, but it was about a month or two ago.
So sometime in February of 2025 or 6.
Yes, I believe it was February 6th around that time.
Okay. Were there any other searches after December 24 and between the one on February 6th and 26th?
I don't believe so.
And every single one of the times that you guys went in this home, you're trying to find evidence about what happened in the 6 hours before Mr. Richins' body was discovered, right?
Correct.
And you kept going back and back and back.
Yes.
All right, I do want to talk a little bit. You can take it down. Thank you. I do want to talk a little bit about the Matterport. You mentioned you did some measuring.
Correct.
With, is it the same device you do the video with that does the measurements?
Yeah, it's the Matterport.
Okay. And I believe you said you measured the distance from the master bedroom to the front door.
Correct.
And then from the, what is the second one you did?
There's one from the master bedroom to the kitchen, master bedroom to each boy's room.
Okay. And what's the purpose? Why did you make those measurements?
It was asked to try to figure out how far they were to correlate with data that was retrieved off of a cell phone.
Perfect. Did you also take any measurements from the master bedroom to the back porch door?
I have not, no.
Did you notice the day that you were there when Mr. Richins died? Did they have a dog?
I believe so, yes.
Did you also measure the distance from the master bedroom to the master bathroom
I did not.
or to the hallway bathroom?
No.
Also, in your report from the search on the 13th, you mentioned that you all collected some hydrocodone pills. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Where did you find those?
Hold on. Okay, my apologies, Ms. Sensor. Keep going.
Where did you find those pills?
I didn't personally find them, but they were located in the laundry room in the cabinet.
And how many hydrocodone pills did you find?
Like I said, I wasn't the one that found them. I collected them. I don't know the exact, approximately 10 around that.
And were they in a bottle or were they loose?
They were in a bag.
And in the garage, I know you were very careful about marking where every single thing was found. When these hydrocodone pills were found in the garage, what were they near?
They weren't in the garage. They were
I'm
in the
sorry.
laundry room.
The laundry room, which is right at the door where the garage starts, right?
It's near it, yes.
And what was it near?
It was inside the cabinet in the laundry room.
Up high?
Correct.
Is there any way to tell if a hydrocodone pill was purchased, if you find it loose like that, not in a bottle? Is there any way for law enforcement to look at it and say, hey, this is bought on the street or this is bought in the drugstore?
Not that I know of on scene.
You also had a picture that you referred to when Ms. Shermanack was questioning you that had the picture of all the gummies on it. I believe it is exhibit number. Sorry, give me just a second. Thank you. 9-12. Can we put that up, Your Honor? It's been admitted.
Make sure it's the one you want before I show the picture.
Yes, sir. Yes, yep, that's the one I want, the one that's on the screen. Can we publish that, Your Honor?
Any objection, Mr. Chairman?
No, Your Honor.
One moment.
And I need to approach the screen. Do I need permission for that? Or
No.
okay.
Just make sure your mic is working. We're not going to pick you up.
So this picture that you have in front of you, you told Ms. Shavernak that all of these gummies were seized together. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, but I'm seeing these two little plastic baggies of gummies up at the top that are not labeled, that don't have any commercial labeling. Are you saying these two were all in the same place with all the rest of these?
Correct. That's what I was told.
So if there's a picture of these in the top of the kitchen where you actually have a dot above the fridge, then you would be incorrect that they were all found together.
That's a different package that was found above the fridge.
Oh, so there was at least 3 clear packages that had no commercial marking on them?
Correct.
Gummies on them? Okay. And the gummies that are on the screen that have the red packaging, at least one of those was found in that green jacket in the closet, right?
Not these specific ones. That's an additional one that was located.
So there was another red bag of gummies.
Correct.
Did anybody take that green jacket into custody?
No.
Do you recall where in the closet it was as compared to near men's clothing or women's clothing?
I was in the the southeast corner of the closet.
Is that where the men's clothing was located?
I'm not sure if it was men's or women's, to be honest.
Okay. All right, now I want to move to the search that occurred on Can we put the key back up that we just had on, the key? Make sure I have the right date. I don't want to say the wrong date. Get corrected. Oh, there it is. March 14th of 2022, right? Is that the next one that was on your key?
Yeah, that's the second one, correct.
All right. What was the purpose of the search on March 14th? Which was just about, I think that's a typo. Because you
that
didn't-
is a typo. Yes.
Okay, can
It's
we,
April 14th.
can you pull that out, Katie? Can you pull that out? Make it bigger so the jury can see it. So where it says 3/14/22, sunflower yellow, that actually should read April 13th, right?
Correct.
So is that the only mistake on there?
I believe so.
Okay, just want to make sure the jury remembers that. All right, so the next search would have been May 8th of 2023, correct?
Correct.
And those are going to be 4 green dots on your MAT report.
Correct.
And what was the purpose of going back to the house a couple months or a year later on May 8th of 2023? What were you looking for that time?
I believe that one was to obtain additional electronics and also documents and drugs.
And when you went to that search, was any fentanyl located in the home?
No.
All right. And then the next search you did, which was October 24th of 2023, what was the purpose of going back for that search?
I'd have to double check my notes. I believe that's one that we were collecting some more electronics.
All right. Was there ever a time prior to any of those? Well, let's just keep going. On the 31st, you remember why you guys were searching a week later, why you went back?
I believe that one was also for electronics and or documents.
Prior to all of these searches and the ones that are listed below it,
Or I'm sorry, I believe those two in December were actually for some copper cups and drugs.
okay. And the copper cups, you actually found them, right?
We found several, correct.
And where were they when you found them?
I believe on the first one, some were located upstairs in the kitchen.
And they were tested, I'm sure.
Yes.
All right. And so if Ms. Richins, in any of her interviews, stated that they had a gift of copper cups and had a drink that night, you found something that corroborated that part of her story, correct?
We found copper cups, correct.
All right. And if Ms. Richins gave interviews that said that her husband may have taken a gummy that night, you found gummies that could have corroborated that part of her story, right?
We found gummies, yes.
And if she said that she pulled him on a sheet off onto the ground to try to start CPR, you found a sheet that corroborated that part of her story.
Correct.
I mean,
And
okay, great. You corroborate part of it, not all of it.
Between the
Kind of
bedroom,
important
between the children's
problem
rooms,
there.
not the whole house, but a good part of the house. And so there were steps that were recorded on her phone that were consistent with her moving around the house prior to calling 911, correct?
Correct.
So that corroborated her story that she had been somewhere other than the bedroom.
She's introducing her client statements as hearsay through this witness.
But I think they've already all been brought up.
Overruled.
And then, In these searches that you all were conducting, was there ever a time where you were conducting a search because the private investigator had revealed to law enforcement that there were items worthy of going back to the house for?
Yes,
How many times did that happen?
at least one that I recall.
All right, I want to talk about that one time. Does that involve the letter that was recovered from the bed?
Okay, there's two.
Okay, 2 times. So tell me about the first one that you remembered.
I believe it was a voice recording or a recording device that was located.
And you all got information from a private investigator that had been in the scene on the house that he found something he thought you wanted to see.
Correct.
And so you issued a warrant and went and picked it up.
I did not issue the warrant, but somebody else did.
Of course. I'm sorry, that's inaccurate. A warrant was issued and
Correct.
you guys went in. All right, and the second time, what did that involve?
A letter that was located.
And the letter that was located in this search, and do you remember the date of the search? Want me to refresh your memory?
If you could, yes, please.
Sure, no worries. 11/7/24.
Okay.
Your purple day. It's your purple dot day. My understanding is a letter was recovered on the foot of the bed, of Eric's side of the bed.
Correct.
Now, the jury has seen multiple photos from that night where there's clearly no letter on that bed.
Correct.
And there were several, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 searches prior to November of 24 where that letter was not seen on the bed, right?
Correct.
And that included walkthroughs of defense counsel, walkthroughs of prosecution team, you doing Matterport videos where there's no letter on the foot of the bed, right?
Correct.
And then when all of a sudden, when you guys get there in November, there's this letter on the bed.
Yes.
And you took that into evidence.
Yes, we did.
Same when you went and you got the tip off that there's a recording device, you went and where you showed exactly where it was by the private investigator?
Yes.
How many times when you all searched the house was the private investigator there and present?
I don't know. I wasn't told.
When you saw him with your own eyes, right?
Just the one time.
Just once that you saw him.
Correct.
At some point, and I just need to clarify this for the jury too, in addition to the physical evidence that's seized at the scene, documentary evidence, electronic evidence, you also were in charge of maintaining video footage of witness interviews. Is that right?
Correct.
And every witness that was interviewed that had an audio or videotape, you saved it and did all those procedures we talked about at the very beginning of your testimony.
Correct.
At some point, did you become aware that 2 witness interviews, the audio or the video was missing?
I vaguely recall that. Yes.
Does it refresh your memory if I tell you that you were unable to locate interview footage for witnesses Nick Bond Savage, and Nancy Peterson?
I don't know for sure if those were missing or if they hadn't been booked in yet.
Have you ever located those 2 interviews to this day?
I'm unsure.
Also, one of the items you recovered on a search on September, well, I'm not sure of the date, so I'm just going to say one of the searches you seized or took custody of an Apple Watch that belonged to Eric Richins. Is that right?
Correct.
And when you took custody of that Apple Watch, it had a massive amount of data on it, correct?
I wouldn't say a mass amount of data. It had a gigabytes worth of data.
So it wasn't deleted.
No.
So if someone testified that the Apple Watch had been deleted, that might not be true. Wasn't true because you got it.
On Eric's Apple Watch,
Mhm.
we had very little data off of it.
You had how much data?
I don't recall the exact amount.
But you had data on it.
We had some data, yes.
So it wasn't deleted.
I don't recall if anything was deleted off of it.
Thank you. In addition to the computer that Todd Gabler turned over to law enforcement that had originally belonged to Eric, did Todd Gabler take physical possession of any evidence first before giving it to the law enforcement? Do you know besides the computer?
Not that I'm aware of.
Thank you. One of the things you found on the search in November 7th of 2024, you all found what's called an epinephrine medical injection unit, right?
Correct.
And can you tell us what that is?
I believe that one was just a EpiPen that's used to administer insulin.
Or maybe not insulin, maybe something for an allergic reaction.
Yes.
And that's something that you normally find on a scene if someone's severely allergic.
Correct.
And where did you find that epinephrine medical injection?
I believe it was in the kitchen. I believe it was inside the refrigerator.
Wasn't there also one located in the master bathroom?
At one point, I believe so.
All right. And you did not take that into evidence?
No.
You just noted it?
Correct.
You also found syringes in the master bedroom?
Yes. In the master bedroom.
I'm sorry, master bathroom?
There was some in the master closet.
And where in the closet?
Okay, guys, trust me, I'm all about getting ahas and why didn't you do stuff. But the idea that I have to go get the EpiPens, why? Like, what is in the EpiPens you think is going to help you if she doesn't do it? And you go, like, I don't know. Like, not taking the EpiPens, I don't have a problem with, because it's not like, well, are you aware they shove fentanyl in EpiPens? It's like, no, they don't. So, like, what? What? Like nobody's gonna notice that. So
Where the syringe is located?
At the very top shelf in the northwest corner.
Up high.
Correct.
And did you all take those into evidence?
Yes.
Did you test them
No. They were unused.
and destroyed them?
They were not destroyed, no.
You still have them?
Correct.
And there was one syringe that you found in the master bathroom, I believe, that did have residue of substance in it, right?
There was a syringe located in the kitchen.
Okay. And was that tested?
That one was, yes.
And what was the substance that was determined to be inside that syringe?
I don't recall what was the positive.
now I want to
When you
know
were
what's
searching
in
the
that
home, did you also
syringe.
find oxycodone pills?
I doubt it was fentanyl. She would have remembered that. I
I'm
bet.
sure.
Although that would be hilarious if there's
And the
fentanyl in a
ketiapine
syringe.
pills that we talked about yesterday that was in the bag that we had you open and untape.
The quetiapine?
The ketiapine pills that were in the bag that we
Quetiapine.
opened. Actually, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I can't remember. But it had some little substance in it. That
The
was,
2 half pills.
that's what I was about to ask.
Quetiapine.
Quetiapine.
Yes.
And that pill was cut
Yes,
in half, correct?
quetiapine. Like it's
I don't recall if it was. I mean, it's in 2 halves right now. Yes.
So the pill was in 2 halves.
Correct.
And you didn't do that.
No.
And you've protected that. So that must be the condition it was in when you got it.
Yes.
All right. Court's indulgence for just 1 minute. I think I'm wrapping up.
Okay.
I believe, if it refreshes your memory, that the last search that was conducted on the house might have been February 9th. Does that sound
yes, it's
familiar?
also known as Seroquel,
And when you went and searched the house on February
which is
9th,
really
what
good
did you
for
take
things.
from away from the house on the 9th?
A black Under Armour jacket
Where did you find that jacket?
in one of the downstairs bedroom closets.
And how many jackets would you say were in that house 3 years after the death? 4 years.
A lot of jackets.
Right. And that's the jacket you picked and you took it with you out of the house.
Correct.
And I want to be really specific about the search of the truck. So there were 2 trucks. One was a brown work truck and one was a red truck. Which is the truck that you believe was searched when you were present and logging in all the search materials?
I believe it was red. It was the truck that was inside the garage.
So you have no notice or no note anywhere that the brown truck that Eric spent all day every day in was ever searched on the date of his death or in the month after.
I didn't personally know.
And you didn't note it down because that would be your job, right?
If I didn't search it, then it wouldn't be my job to note it down.
Well, if someone inventoried anything out of the truck, it would be, right?
If they took anything out of the truck, yes.
Okay. One moment, Your Honor. There was a canine search run at one point with a dog.
Yes.
When was that approximately? You don't need to know the exact date.
That was on the April 14th of 2022 search.
And was the canine just run through the home?
I can't attest to where it ran. I believe it just ran through the entire home.
To your knowledge, did the canine go into any vehicles on that day?
I'm unaware.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Attended the witness. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ms. Sherman.
That was absolute garbage. That did not help. Not help in any way.
Let's see how many things I can stack on this. Ms. Gibson, let's talk about March 4th. That's the day that of 2022. That's the day Eric Richins died. Did you have a search warrant that day?
No, we did not.
Were you legally permitted to search the house for anything you wanted?
No, not at the time.
Were you looking for prescriptions of Eric Richins?
Yes.
And you weren't looking for prescriptions of Kouri Richins?
No.
Why not?
A little closer, yeah.
How's that? Are we better?
Yeah, thank you very much.
And you weren't looking for prescriptions of Kouri Richins?
Correct.
Why not?
Typically, when we have a death investigation, we only look for the decedent's medications or any other medicine that could be potentially misused. I think we did note some prescription bottles of Kouri Richins just to verify, make sure there wasn't an overdose possibility on those.
And you didn't find any hydrocodone that day?
No.
So let's move forward 5 weeks. April 13th, 2022. That's the first time the house is searched by a search warrant.
Correct.
You weren't in the house between March 4th of 2022 when Eric died and April 13th of 2022.
Correct.
There was no search warrant on the home in that time frame.
Correct.
And you went back on April 13th with a search warrant looking for fentanyl.
Yes.
Because fentanyl killed Eric Richins.
Correct.
Now, Ms. Nestor asked you about a truck being searched on April 13th.
Yes,
And the truck that was searched was a red truck.
I believe so.
When you were at the home during any of those searches, but in particular on April 13th, was there a brown truck at the home?
I don't recall.
If there was a brown truck there and something was found in it, would you have been made aware of that?
Yes.
If we could, Scott, put up Exhibit 1-16 and 1-18 side by side. Are they up? I can see one picture. I messed up.
Is this what you wanted to show them?
Yes, Scott, is there a second page to 1-18? Okay, go. That's the view that I would like, please. If we could publish that to the jury.
Any objection, Ms. Nestor?
No. So when we're looking at these two photographs, the photograph on the left, I just want to make this clear for the jury. These items were located on April 13th, 2022.
Correct.
And the items on the left were located in the cupboard above the toilet.
Correct.
The item on the right was located in the kitchen.
Correct.
Now, you also testified with Ms. Nestor, there was hydrocodone found in a baggie,
Yes.
and that was located kind of like a mudroom area.
Yeah.
Were those items sent to be tested at the lab?
I believe so, but I'm not positive.
Scott, if we could show the witness exhibit 1-17, please. Is there a second page to that one? Okay, that view is fine. If we could show that to the jury, please.
No objection.
Is this a photograph that you took?
Yes.
Did you look at that jacket?
I didn't look inside the jacket.
Not inside the jacket, but did you look at the jacket?
Not really, no.
Could you tell if it was a men's jacket or a women's jacket?
I can't tell now.
You can take it down. Now, I want to talk about the black jacket, the Under Armour jacket. You went back and retrieved that jacket from the home.
Correct.
With a search warrant.
Yes.
Why did you retrieve that jacket out of all the jackets in the home?
It was the jacket that a pair of tweezers and a small piece of plastic was located in.
So, Ms. Nestor has gone over these multiple searches with you. Why do you keep going back to the house?
We obtained additional information that could potentially lead to something else that we could have missed originally. We're looking for different items.
The investigation, is it developing between those searches?
Yes.
You're receiving new information?
Yes.
We talked about some phone calls that you had retrieved and booked into evidence. Were you ever, is that correct?
Yes.
Were you ever involved in downloading, storing, retrieving, preserving any secret phone calls?
What do you mean secret phone calls?
Yes or no?
No.
Give me just a minute. Those are all my questions for you. Thank you.
We did this go for reader,
I will,
please.
absolutely. So what you just said to Ms. Chevernick, you would go back in case you missed things,
And we obtained additional information
in case you missed it.
with additional information.
And you had to do that, looks like a minimum of 10 times.
Yes, we kept obtaining additional information.
So each time you went back, you found things you'd missed before.
It's things that weren't being looked for before.
Okay. At the very beginning of Ms. Chevernick's questions, she mentioned that you were not legally authorized to search the home on the day of the death pursuant to a warrant, correct?
That's correct.
However, you can certainly legally search a home if someone consents and says, hey, search my home, right?
Correct.
Okay. And Ms. Richins didn't stop anyone from searching anything in that house, did she?
I
At
didn't
any
have,
point.
I didn't have any interaction with her, so I'm unaware.
And she didn't stop you?
Correct.
And you knew when you arrived, because you were there to help Detective Woody, you knew from the minute you got there that somebody was making allegations that she was involved in the death from the minute you got there, right?
Not the minute I got there, no.
How soon after you got there?
I don't recall how long it had been. I was just there to assist Detective Woody, and there were some suspicious circumstances.
And you knew that day, right?
I know there was some allegations, yes, that day.
Did you ever go to Ms. Richins and say, may I please photograph your bathroom? May I please photograph your kitchen sink? May I please have those drink cups that are in the sink? Did you ever do any of that?
No.
Okay. I think that's all I have. Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Sherman, anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Ms. Gibson, you can step down and take the things in your custody with you.
Thank you.
Very good.
Am I released from my subpoena? Or my
I'm actually not sure. Let me ask. It's a fair question.
If we could just not release her, but we promise if we need her, we'll give her much advance notice that she needs to come back.
So you're not released. We'll make sure you get fair notice.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
And she could be advised not to discuss her testimony.
Yeah. Counsel, would you approach?
Yes.
So, all right. Let's
Ms. Sherman, Mr. Bloodworth, the state's next witness.
The Dr. Peterson.
Okay.
even at like, oh my God, this.
I need to get one piece of evidence and bring it up for this examination. So could I just have a minute or two?
Yeah, you know what, folks?
Stephen Cooper for Ted subs. Stephen Cooper for Ted subs. Yeah, the secret phone calls too. Yeah. At TM173, thank you for being here. New face, thank you for stopping by. If I was Kouri's husband, I wouldn't give her the credit card. Yeah, well, I don't think he intentionally ever gave her the credit card. I'm assuming she stole it. So, but welcome. If you didn't know, my name's Sean, also with Potential Criminal. I'm an attorney in the Cleveland, Ohio area, and we're trying to catch up with the show. But I'm sure we're trying to catch up with this at night after I'm done for the day. She forges signatures. I guarantee you, she signed for him all the time. So, let's oh yeah, here we go. Here we go.
Peterson.
Are you employed, ma'am?
Yes,
How are you employed?
I'm a forensic toxicologist with NMS Labs.
How long have you been a forensic toxicologist?
Over 20 years.
And with NMS?
I've been with NMS since June of 2021.
Okay. So you were working there in March of 2022?
Correct.
What is a forensic toxicologist?
Forensic toxicology, you analyze biological samples for the presence or absence of drugs and alcohol.
And what is your education, briefly?
I received my bachelor's degree in chemistry from the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse in 1997, a master's degree in forensic science from the University of Illinois at Chicago in 1999, and a PhD in toxicology from the University of Georgia in 2007.
Since becoming a forensic toxicologist 20 years ago, have you had training, continuous training?
Yes, so throughout my career, I've received training specific to the chemical extractions that are to be performed on the biological samples, the instrumentation that's used for the analysis, and then also pharmacology for the interpretation of the drug and ethanol results and how they might apply to either impairment or a medical legal death investigation.
So have you had a chance to, this is kind of a funny question, have you had a chance to check the data from biological samples?
Yes.
About how many times have you done that?
So my primary job duty is case review. So on average, I probably review 12,000 cases a year with NMS Labs.
And have you ever testified before as an expert in a criminal case?
Yes, I have.
About how many times?
Approximately 160.
How does the toxicology process work? I mean, how do you get it, at whose request, and what happens to it?
So NMS receives samples from various clients like medical examiners, coroners, law enforcement, hospitals. So we receive the evidence and the client will request specific testing to be performed.
And you said they come from all over the country?
Correct.
And so how do they get there?
So they can be shipped via FedEx, UPS, hand delivery, US mail.
Then once they arrive at NMS, what happens to the sample?
We have a specimen processing department that will open up the packaging, compare the evidence against the information that was provided by the client on a request form to make sure that the information matches. And then we create our own unique case. We have an electronic laboratory information management system where we'll input all the information provided to us, what testing was requested, and then we give each case a unique 8-digit number that we barcode. So all of the evidence is barcoded so it can be tracked throughout the time in the laboratory.
Once they receive it and process it as you've just described, then is it secured someplace?
Yes, so it's a secure facility in general, and then so the building is secure, and then the laboratory also has limited access to the people that need to use the laboratory, and then where the evidence is stored in like walk-in freezers or fridges, that also requires like a prox card access. So it's secure and then limited to staff that need access to those areas.
So when it comes to testing, what happens? We heard about some gray vials and stuff, for example. What happens to the mean, how does it get into the laboratory?
So for this case, we received 2 blood samples. They were both in gray top vials. So each vial is going to get its own unique barcode number. And then when testing is going to be performed, we will take out a small volume of blood that's needed for the test. So we have the original container that was received, and we just remove out or aliquot the amount of volume that's needed for the test. And then, sorry, that's placed into a clean new test tube that also is barcoded and tracked.
Then this aliquot is forwarded to the lab for the scientist to run through the instruments?
Yes, so the aliquot is given to a staff member who will perform the specific test following a standardized operating procedure.
Okay. Is it run by itself or in batches of cases?
So we run batches. So there's going to be many other unknown case samples. And then also every batch will have a set of standards and controls that is also run concurrently with the unknown cases.
So when the instrument runs its test on any particular sample, how is the data entered?
So everything is being tracked by that unique case number that we gave it. Once an extraction is performed, the sample is run on an instrument. The instrument has inputted, like they scan the barcode to tell the instrument this is, this vial is this case number. After the data is reviewed, it's sent electronically from the instrument to our electronic laboratory information management system that stores the results. So it's always just following our unique case number.
Is there someone near in time who then reviews that data to make sure that it was processed properly?
Yes, so after the person in the laboratory performs their procedure, it runs on an instrument. When the instrument is done running the entire batch, someone's going to review all of the data for the knowns to make sure that the positive controls were positive, the negatives were negative, and then that all of the unknown cases, that any results that were found meet the acceptance criteria for reporting. So they'll look at the batch in its entirety to make sure that it's acceptable based on those standards and controls. And then when they're done, a second person is going to do the exact same thing. So it's like a double check of their work before that batch is released and those results sent to the computer system.
And that's the same process for each test that you run on all the various substances?
Correct.
Okay. When do you come into the picture?
So after all testing has been completed for a case, then in my role as a toxicologist, I'm going to review the data from all of the testing that was performed for this specific case. I also have access to the administrative information provided by the client on that request form. So I'm making sure that the correct testing was performed that was requested. So I review everything, and then I will issue a final toxicology report with the findings from all of the testing.
So in this particular case, you received some samples from the Utah medical examiner on March 8th?
Correct.
Okay, and was assigned the unique number at that point?
Correct.
And what did you receive?
We received 2 tubes of blood, vitreous fluid, urine, liver tissue, and gastric fluid.
Okay, and initially, what were you asked to do?
Initially, it was just requested that we perform a test that screens for alcohol and drugs in one of the blood samples.
And did you do that?
Yes.
Okay, in the screening, were any of those did any of those come up positive for substances that you subsequently tested a confirmatory test?
Yes.
Okay, and tell the jury about that.
So we first perform a broad drug screen that looks for hundreds of different drugs. And then based on those results, if there's any positive findings, then we will perform a second confirmation test that's more specific and sensitive for that drug or drug class. And so that's we're taking a separate aliquot, performing a separate test, running on another instrument to confirm those original screening results.
And in this case, what did you find in the confirmatory test?
I assume we're going to get there. Remember, we're telling the story. Eric was found dead. We responded. Here's what all we learned about his death. And now, like, I assume they're going to kind of roll backwards in time from here. But you kind of have to, you're kind of telling the story. And this makes sense. He died. We found all this fentanyl in the system. Okay, well, where did the fentanyl come from? Good thing you asked. And now we could boop, 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 boom, Kouri buying it. We're going back in time here, but you still have, remember, we're narrative driven people. We have to tell the story.
Fentanyl and norfentanyl.
Okay, and did the confirmatory test identify levels?
Yes, so fentanyl was reported at 15 nanograms per milliliter and norfentanyl at 3.3 nanograms per milliliter.
What is norfentanyl?
Norfentanyl is a metabolite of fentanyl. So when your body is trying to eliminate drugs, they'll break them down into a different form called metabolites sometimes that are easier for the body to excrete. So it's inactive, it doesn't cause any effects, but it just shows that some fentanyl has been metabolized to norfentanyl.
Did you screen for hydrocodone?
Yes.
And did the screen identify anything for further testing?
No.
Okay. any other opioids tested in the screening?
Yes.
And any others besides fentanyl positive for further testing?
No.
Do you know how long hydrocodone stays in the body that you're able to find it in the subsequent toxicology test?
So hydrocodone has a half-life of maybe 4 to 6 hours. So a half-life refers to how long does it take for the concentration to go in half. And usually drugs will be completely eliminated from your body in 5 half-lives. So if someone took a dose of hydrocodone, we would expect it all to be eliminated within 20 to 30 hours based on that 4 to 6 hour half-life times 5.
I mean, I'll tell you, as a defense attorney, you have no idea what we could spin. We could spin anything. We can make everything look sketchy. So I don't know if that would change too much at the end of the day. I don't know if that would change too much at the end of the day.
Okay. When a person dies, does it freeze in place? Whatever is there. I mean, you don't continue to eliminate it, or it doesn't evaporate once the blood is drawn out. It freezes it in place. Is that correct?
In general, it's going to be a snapshot of what was going on. There are some drugs that might have limited stability, like cocaine can be broken down after death just due to enzymes that are present that can break it down into its metabolite. So there are a few drugs that we know have limited stability in the biological samples after death, but for the most part, yes, it's your body has stopped working, like it's no longer going to be metabolizing, etc.
Is that true for opioids then?
That it should be a snapshot of them, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Have you ever heard of a principle or a theory or something called post-mortem redistribution?
Yes.
Can you give a brief explanation of what that is?
So postmortem redistribution. So after someone dies, the pH of your blood starts to change and the permeability of the tissues isn't maintained the same. So it means if there was like drugs stored in like major organs, like your heart or your lungs, they might start to seep out of those organs and go into the neighboring blood. And so this means like they're being redistributed. So maybe there was a concentration of drugs in your heart, and now after death, due to the changes the body might be undergoing, they might go into the blood and increase the concentration. So the blood might not be, and the concentration that's there might not be an exact representation of the concentration at the time right before death, right? So it might have increased due to the tissues releasing some of their drug stores into that blood sample.
When you obtain the blood, when the person, the OME or whomever is obtaining the blood, does it after death, does it matter where they obtain it from with regards to this redistribution? Post-mortem
Redistribution should occur less if you take from a peripheral blood source like the femoral vein, because those veins aren't as close to the major organs, versus if you take blood from a central source like a cardiac, that is closer to your heart and all the other organs. So it's more likely to have post-mortem redistribution in a central blood source compared to a peripheral, but it doesn't mean that it can't happen in a peripheral blood source.
Okay. So does the literature say, identify what is a lethal dose of fentanyl?
So studies are published that provide concentrations of drugs found where it's been determined that fentanyl contributed to the death. So there are studies that give these concentration ranges, yes.
And does it vary from person to person?
Yes, so based on an individual's history of use with the drug, they might have a tolerance to it, which means that you might need a higher concentration to obtain the same desired effect. And it also means that you might need a higher concentration from someone, a chronic user, compared to a naive user for that drug to cause their death. So it can vary what is a lethal concentration for individual to individual.
For a person who has never taken fentanyl before, what is the literature say is a lethal dose?
So just in general, though, the lowest reported concentrations of fentanyl are 3 nanograms per milliliter, where it's been contributed to their death.
Okay, so in this case, we had 15.
Correct.
Which is 5 times that.
Correct.
Okay, now, even assuming this redistribution, postmortem redistribution, is that significantly still above this 3 nanograms per milliliter?
Yes, 15 is greater than 3.
Thank you. I am just a lawyer, so pardon my math. Okay, at a later time, were you asked to examine other of the samples that you were sent by the Utah medical examiner?
Yes, in October of 2022, the client requested that we perform an alcohol and drug screen on the gastric fluid.
And did you do that?
Yes.
Did, following that screen, were you did you get positive results for which you subsequently performed confirmatory tests?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us about those?
Yes. So ethanol was detected at 279 milligrams per deciliter. Quetiapine was detected at 16,000 nanograms per milliliter. Fentanyl was detected at 20,000 nanograms per milliliter. Norfentanyl was detected at 52 nanograms per milliliter. And acetylfentanyl was detected at 29 nanograms per milliliter.
We haven't heard about acetylfentanyl. What is that?
Acetylfentanyl is a fentanyl analog. So it's similar in structure, but it's an illicit drug. So there's no prescription pharmaceutical drug where it's going to be prescribed. It's solely illicit, and it's often seen in illicitly manufactured fentanyl as a co-product.
So for purposes of an analyst or a criminal investigator, that would be a marker that this came from a source, this fentanyl came from a source that was illicit.
You could provide that interpretation, yes.
Okay.
I mean, they could have just had acetylfentanyl and maybe a fentanyl prescription, but often when you see acetylfentanyl, it's an indication that the fentanyl was illicit.
Okay. This 279 milligrams per deciliter of ethanol, I want to go into that. First of all, how much alcohol is that in layman's terms, like in order of, say, shots of liquor or 12-ounce beers or whatever?
So this will be kind of a multi-step answer. So the 279 milligrams per deciliter is a concentration. And so your question was asking just about milligrams. So like if you have a beer or a shot of alcohol, that's just in terms of milligrams of ethanol. So to figure that out, you would have to take the 279 times the total volume of gastric fluid that's available.
Were you made aware of the total volume?
Yes, I was.
From whom?
Dr. Ulmer,
Okay, and did she give you a figure?
700 milliliters.
Okay, and so from that, you're able to make a calculation?
Yeah, so you would multiply the 279 times the 700 milliliters and doing the conversions for deciliters to milliliters, but you end up with around 1900 milligrams of ethanol versus a standard drink of ethanol is 14,000 milligrams. So it's well below the amount that you would find just in one standard drink of ethanol.
Is there another possible source for this alcohol than alcoholic beverage?
Yes, so it's known that if you have a source of glucose and bacteria, that ethanol can be formed post-mortem. So the bacteria convert glucose, because it's carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, just like ethanol. It can convert glucose into ethanol. And so obviously, like in gastric contents, you might have a source of glucose if there's food there, and then your stomach naturally has bacteria. So this post-mortem formation can occur either in the body prior to sample collection, but it could also happen in the collection container, because often they don't have a preservative that would inhibit the bacteria from doing this process of post-mortem formation of ethanol.
Is there any way you can chemically identify whether it's this
That does
post-mortem
happen.
decomposition or
P-dub.
vodka?
Not in the testing that we performed.
Okay. Can you tell us, based on your knowledge of the volume in the gastric fluid, anything about this quetiapine and how much of a pill, if you will, would be there, or a dosage?
Right. So again, you would take the concentration, the 16,000 nanograms per milliliter, multiply it times the total 700 milliliters, and you get a very large number. But drugs are given typically in milligram doses, and there's 1 million nanograms in 1 milligram, right? So after you do that math, it ends up being 11 milligrams of quetiapine. I just want to state, like, the assumption is that 700 milliliters of gastric was homogeneous, so that the concentration was consistent throughout the entire volume, and that the sample
Homogeneous? You can't just assume all
700
homos are
milliliters as
smart.
whole. Like,
That's a little
assumption has to be made
presumptive.
for the calculations that I'm providing.
And so is it that 16,000 come to equal a standard dosage, prescription dosage?
I would say it's less than a standard dosage. I mean, it depends on a person's prescription, but typically like 75, 100, 250 milligrams of quetiapine might be prescribed versus our calculation was 11 milligrams.
Okay. Did you, a few minutes ago, did you have an opportunity to look at State's Exhibit 9-1, a quetiapine bottle with its label on it?
Yes, I did.
Okay. You also have the results that you obtained through screening and your confirmation test. With the knowns that you have available to you, are you able to say that the quetiapine and fentanyl had to have been taken sequentially, either one before the other one, or at the same time, or anything like that?
I cannot make any of those conclusions.
Okay. I have nothing for this.
Please, Lewis. Glass of water is for you.
Good morning, Dr. Peterson.
Morning.
I'm Wendy Lewis. I'm one of Ms. Richins' attorneys. Nice to meet you. So you've been working at NMS Labs, you said, for how long?
Since June of 2021?
All right. And prior to that, were you still doing the same type of work, forensic toxicology?
Yes, I was.
All right. So part of your job isn't working with live patients, true?
Correct.
All right. So you don't deal with when someone comes in who's maybe possibly overdosing from some kind of drug.
That's correct.
All right. So you look at what's happened only after death by looking at samples, correct?
I look at the data generated from those samples being tested.
That's fair. That's fair. How a scientist would describe it rather than an attorney. Okay, so I want to talk about fentanyl and follow up a little bit on what Mr. Burmester asked you regarding lethal doses of fentanyl. So here you said we had 15 nanograms per milliliter of fentanyl in the bloodstream. Did I get that right?
Correct.
All right. And fatalities for fentanyl, there's a fairly large range of what could be a fatal dose of fentanyl. Is that fair?
Correct.
All right. So a much lower dose could cause the death of someone. True?
Lower than 15? Yes.
Yes. And in some people who have some tolerance, it could be a higher dose than that before it would be fatal. Fair?
That's correct.
All right. So when someone takes fentanyl, is it fair to say that it would take about 30 minutes from the time the fentanyl is ingested before it starts to show up in the bloodstream?
Yeah, some of it's going to depend on if the stomach is empty and if it's in liquid form or solid, but I would say usually 15 to 60 minutes it might take for absorption for it to be at a measurable amount in the blood.
All right. And is there any way to tell? Let me rephrase that. There was also fentanyl found in Mr. Richins' stomach. We spoke about that.
Correct.
So we know that he for sure ingested fentanyl. It wasn't given to him or he didn't take it any other way. Like he didn't use it, he didn't inject it. True?
I mean, you could do both, but the presence of it in the gastric contents does provide the interpretation that one route of administration was ingestion.
All right, that makes sense. Now, you mentioned that also present was norfentanyl.
Correct.
And norfentanyl is a metabolite, did I say that properly, of fentanyl?
Yes, that's correct.
So when the body starts to metabolite the fentanyl, you'll see norfentanyl also in the system or in the samples.
Well, correct.
Okay, well, let me ask another question. Maybe we can clarify. It's possible that someone could die of a fentanyl overdose so quickly you wouldn't see norfentanyl in the system. True?
That's correct.
All right. So in someone who's never taken fentanyl, hypothetically, it's possible that first exposure, they take it, they die so quickly, norfentanyl is not observed.
Yes, that can happen.
All right. So when someone has a high dose of fentanyl and we see norfentanyl on the report, the body has started to metabolize the fentanyl.
Correct.
And wouldn't it be more, well, strike that. Let me ask one question before I get to that one. So that would mean that after the fentanyl was ingested, Mr. Richins was alive long enough that his liver began to metabolize the norfentanyl, or the fentanyl resulting in norfentanyl.
Correct.
All right. And that would be more likely for the body to start to metabolize it before death in someone who it was not their first time taking fentanyl, correct?
I don't think you can draw that conclusion.
And well, let me back up. So it's possible someone has no exposure to fentanyl, they take it, they die very, very quickly.
That's a possibility, yes.
And someone who has had exposure, I'm not saying that 100% wouldn't, they may show norfentanyl, but
Chad, I
it's
have
more
to
likely
get up and
that someone
move some
who's had
things
some
around,
exposure
so I'll
to
be
fentanyl would start,
listening on
especially at a higher dose,
speaker.
would
I'll be
start
right
to
back.
metabolize it, having the norfentanyl appear, as opposed to someone who had never taken it. True?
I don't agree with that.
All right. You talked about things that were not found in the blood, and was naltrexone tested for?
Yes, it was.
Okay, and there was no naltrexone in Mr. Richins' blood.
The screening result did not meet the threshold to go to that second confirmation test.
All right. All right, I want to move to post-mortem production of alcohol that you talked about with Mr. Burmester. So post-mortem production of alcohol is more likely to occur in some scenarios than other scenarios. Fair?
Yes.
I mean, not every body is going to have a postmortem production of alcohol. We don't see that just because someone dies, that's not there.
That's correct.
All right. So some of the circumstances that might result in postmortem are things such as a long delay between the death and autopsy. True?
I mean, the two variables that are needed are glucose and the bacteria.
All right. But is it also true that there are certain scenarios where it's more likely to happen, such as a long delay between the autopsy and the death? You're more likely to see it than an autopsy that happened fairly quickly. Fair?
Are you talking about in any matrix or gastric in particular or just general?
Well,
Sorry.
well, now you're getting scientific. on me.
I'll just answer your question that yes, a longer postmortem interval is a pre-analytical factor that could lead to postmortem formation of ethanol.
Okay.
Yes,
All right. And I'm not saying every time, but these are
Correct.
circumstances that make it more likely.
it can be. Yes.
And we didn't have a long delay here between death and autopsy.
No idea.
Well, is assuming he died somewhere between 10:30 p.m. and 3 a.m. Autopsy's done at 7:30 a.m. That's not considered a long delay in terms of an autopsy. True?
That's just not something I do.
Okay.
So I don't have
So that would be a
opinion.
question. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you. Question for an Emmy.
Yes.
All right, fair. Does trauma to the body increase the chances of postmortem production of alcohol?
It can, because if you have trauma where the gastric tract gets broken open, then that bacteria is released and can be in the blood, and you need the bacteria to do the postmortem formation.
Right. And that didn't happen here.
No idea.
So a body being warm for a long period of time, that also increases the chances
It
of
could.
postmortem.
It could. Yes.
And are you aware if when a body arrives at a ME's office, typically it's refrigerated? Fair.
Yes.
Was there testing done for yeast in his system that could produce alcohol?
No, there was not.
Because yeast in the system is something that would result in postmortem. Well, I might be phrasing that wrong, but yeast in the system could result in the production of alcohol. That would,
Wait, are they really going to try to argue he suffers from auto brewery syndrome? That's like 1 in a gajillion people. Like, are they going to use every single person that got sick on House? Well, it could have happened like in episode 2, season 8. It's like, come on, guys.
be seen, such as it was here.
Yes.
All right, but that wasn't tested.
No.
All right. So it's possible that there was postmortem decomposition, but it's equally possible that he took a drink before bed. Correct?
Correct.
How long after taking a drink of alcohol? Well, is it fair to say alcohol takes about 10 to 15 minutes to hit the bloodstream?
Again, it depends on the stomach and if it's full or not. So if you have an empty stomach, then the alcohol can get to the intestines faster, which is where the majority of the absorption occurs. So yeah, maybe 15, 30 minutes if your stomach is empty. But if you have delayed gastric emptying, then it might take longer for you to reach that peak alcohol concentration.
Right, peak alcohol concentration.
Yeah,
That's
some alcohol to be in the blood, sure. 15, 30 minutes.
within 30 minutes.
Yes.
And some fentanyl would be in the blood probably within 30 minutes of ingestion.
Again, yeah, within 15 to 60 minutes in general, yes.
So if Mr. Richins had fentanyl in the blood, but not alcohol, a real possibility is that he ingested the fentanyl and then took a drink, give or take maybe 30 minutes later, maybe less, 15 to 30 minutes after he took the fentanyl. Fair assumption, correct?
I can't provide a timeline of when things were ingested. Some of it is, you say take a drink, did you take a sip? That might not even become measurable in the blood. Or how long did he live after the alcohol was consumed, and the body could have just metabolized it below our threshold for reporting. So I can speak generally about both. Yes, can be absorbed and be present in the blood within the 15, 30 minutes.
Well, that amount of fentanyl, typically someone would pass away, would die from that dosage of fentanyl within 20 minutes.
I can't provide an exact time frame. Sometimes there's delayed deaths with respiratory depression, so I can't pinpoint.
Okay, you can't pin. I understand. I mean, we're talking in generalities here. So if someone takes that dosage of fentanyl that you found, what would you expect? Would someone live for hours after that? They wouldn't.
Again, I don't even know what dosage was taken, and I don't know this individual's history of use with this drug. So I can just say what was detected in the blood, what was detected in the gastric, and I can provide general information about absorption of alcohol and drugs and timeframes.
All right, so he might have lived longer this was not the first time he took fentanyl. He may have lived longer after he took the fentanyl.
Again, I don't know what dose was taken.
All right, I'm basing it on what was in the blood. You know how much was in the blood, which can give you an idea, approximately, of a dose that was taken. Fair?
I mean, assuming it, I'm not sure what you mean by dose, like how many micrograms of fentanyl were taken.
All right. You've testified that 15 nanograms per milliliter is 5 times more than a lethal dose of fentanyl.
Correct.
All right. So and I understand, we don't know if that meant he ingested 1 pill of fentanyl or 5 pills of fentanyl. We don't know that. True?
Correct.
All right. However, he clearly took more than, and you're going to have to help me with the numbers because I don't know how it converts from milligrams taken to what's in the blood. But you said a lethal dose could be as low as 3 milligrams or 3 nanograms per milliliter.
A lethal concentration.
So in your experience as a toxicologist, wouldn't that give you some idea of the amount of fentanyl that was ingested to result in that in the blood? Maybe not exactly, but you have an idea.
Well, again, previously I testified about postmortem redistribution, so I'm not aware if that happened or not and could have elevated that concentration of fentanyl. So there's limitations to being able to say what dose ended up with this concentration.
All right, let's try to put this in terms for a layperson. You're handed a fentanyl pill. It's got 1 milligram of fentanyl in it. Is that a lethal dose of fentanyl? Could it be? I know you don't know because it would depend on the individual.
Yes.
All right. And if someone took 1 milligram of pill, 1 milligram pill of fentanyl, and give me a range of what you would expect to see in the blood. Would that be more or less than what you saw here? A range. I know you can't tell me exactly.
So let's say you're given a 800 microgram dose of fentanyl, because fentanyl is very potent.
1
so
milligram would be a lot of fentanyl,
yeah, we don't
right?
give milligrams,
Okay.
we give micrograms, so 1,000-fold less.
Thank you.
But therapeutically, you're trying to get into that 2 to 5 nanogram range because it's a very small window of when it's therapeutic and when it's fatal. So
All right, I think that helps me with my question. So someone's given a therapeutic dose of fentanyl in the hospital, which apparently is nanograms, because milligrams is a lot when it comes to fentanyl.
micrograms, yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if I ever took a science class in college. So, what would you expect to see range-wise in the blood had someone had a therapeutic dose of fentanyl in the hospital? Let's say they died for some reason or another after they had that therapeutic dose of fentanyl. What range would you expect to see in the blood?
All right, so clinically, when they dose people, then like 2 to 3 nanograms per milliliter.
All right. So he clearly took more, obviously, than a therapeutic dose.
I can't make that conclusion.
Well, it would be pretty unusual to see 15 nanograms per milliliter if normally you think you'd see 2 or 3. Or I think you said lower than that, I'm sorry.
But again, I don't know if postmortem redistribution occurred. I don't know this individual's history of use with this drug. And so if they had tolerance, they could take a higher dose and be able to be alive with a higher concentration.
All right. And we don't know that. Okay, let me just boil it down. Is it possible, based on the findings here, that Mr. Richins ingested fentanyl and then after he ingested the fentanyl, he had a drink of alcohol? We don't know how much, but he had a drink. That's a possibility. True?
True.
All right. I want to talk about the quetiapine for a minute. Now, quetiapine is not naturally produced in the body after someone dies, right?
Correct.
So he had to have ingested quetiapine.
Correct.
And it appears it was not a very high dose. You said it was probably a fairly low dose of quetiapine.
In the gastric, yes.
In the gastric. And again, the quetiapine had not made it to the blood. He died before there was a chance for the quetiapine to make its way into his blood, correct?
There was no quetiapine above our threshold for performing a confirmation test.
Well, you couldn't measure any quetiapine in the blood, true?
No.
You did measure some in the blood.
Yes.
And where's that in your report?
It wasn't above our threshold for reporting or performing a confirmation test.
So in your report, there's no indication that quetiapine was found in the blood.
Correct.
All right. And your report's accurate.
Correct.
All right. So again, quetiapine takes about the same amount of time to hit the blood as fentanyl, more or less, about 30 minutes.
Correct.
So a very possible scenario, likely scenario, is that he ingested the fentanyl before the quetiapine. Fair?
No.
Well, if you took them together, they would have both been in the blood,
That's
right?
not true. I mean, if you didn't take a dose that would lead to a concentration that's reportable in the blood, doesn't mean you didn't take it. It just means that it wasn't at a concentration high enough to be above our threshold for reporting.
I understand that, but maybe my question wasn't clear. Whatever amount of quetiapine he took, there was not a measurable, recordable amount in his blood.
That is correct.
The fentanyl he took, there was.
That is correct.
The fentanyl had made its way to his blood prior to him passing.
That is correct.
The quetiapine had not.
Not above a concentration that would be reported by us.
Not even in a concentration that you noted in any way.
Correct.
So it is possible that he took the fentanyl and then later took quetiapine. That's a possibility.
Sure.
All right. So one possibility here is that Mr. Richins ingested fentanyl, and then within the next 15, 20, 30 minutes, he had a drink and took quetiapine. That's a possibility, correct?
Sure.
All right. Just give me a moment, please. have no further questions at this time. Thank you, Dr. Peterson.
Mr. Burmester, within the scope of cross, please.
Picking up where we last were, aren't there other equally possible hypotheticals, such as a drink of alcohol with quetiapine and fentanyl taken at the same time?
Sure.
Is the problem that there aren't enough, there are too many variables that are left unknown that we can't fix any of those? We can't fix the hypothetical and say one is more likely than another because there are too many variables?
Yes.
One of those is that you can't tell this jury whether the alcohol in the gastric fluid came from an alcoholic beverage or decomposition.
Correct.
When you look at the 15 nanograms of fentanyl and the 3.3 of norfentanyl, can you give any insight as, is there a relationship, those numbers have some sort of relationship that we can tell anything from that? For example, how long ago it was taken, that sort of thing?
So assumptions still have to be made. So you would have, one assumption is this person has never used fentanyl before, then that means that they lived long enough for the body to form norfentanyl. But for me, I have no idea their history of use. So there could be norfentanyl still present from a prior use, and then the new fentanyl was taken, and maybe they died before it started to metabolize, but that norfentanyl is still present from a prior use. But once fentanyl is absorbed into the blood, as soon as that happens, it's circulating, can get to the liver, and that norfentanyl can start to appear right away. So within a few minutes, you're going to start having norfentanyl formed and present in the blood once the fentanyl is absorbed into the blood.
Whether you're a previous user or a new user?
Correct.
We have the marker, possible marker of the acetyl fentanyl. And if we make an assumption that that came from the same source as the fentanyl.
No, I think that's beyond the scope. I didn't ask for anything about this. Fentanyl.
Well, let's see what the rest of the question is, and then you can renew your objection. Go ahead, Mr. Burmester.
We can make the assumption that it was an illicit source as opposed to illicit source.
Same objection.
Just name. Just keep going.
Okay, it's fine. I'll just. That's all.
Anything further, Ms. Lewis?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're welcome to step down. Thank you.
Detective Frankfurt.
Give me a sense. Is this a 15-minute witness or a longer?
Short.
Okay, let's do it.
I don't think it's clear. Peterson.
I need you next to the mic, Mr. Burmester. My apologies.
He wants to know if the witness can be released from her subpoena.
Ms. Lewis, any objection to releasing Dr. Peterson?
No, Your Honor.
Doctor, you are released. Thank you for your time. Detective, if you'd step in front of her and you'll get you sworn in.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the pains and penalties of perjury? Thank you. Have a seat.
Good morning, sir. If you could state your name and spell your last name, please.
Frank Root, R-O-O-T,
Where do you work?
Summit County Sheriff's Office,
How long have you worked there?
6 years,
And what's your assignment with the sheriff's office?
investigations detective.
As part of your role in this case, did you meet with Robert Josh Grossman?
Yes,
And during one of those times that you've met with him, did you collect a cell phone from him?
yes,
Was that an iPhone 7?
yes, I believe so.
When did you collect that phone from him?
May 26, 2023.
Once you collected that phone, was it booked into evidence?
Yes,
Was it later transferred to be downloaded, the contents?
yes.
Okay. Those are all my questions for you. Thank you.
Just answer any questions. Oh, Mr. Ramos, my apologies.
It's me. Can we approach for just a minute?
Sure. Any questions for Detective Root at this time?
Very briefly.
Go ahead.
Good morning, Detective Root. How are you?
Good morning, counsel. Good, thank you.
I want to just make sure I understand. The phone you recovered from Mr. Grossman, was it one phone?
No, there were 2 phones.
Okay. And what color were the phones?
One was black, one was white.
Did you recover both of them at the same time, or did you do 2 trips to get phones from him
Sorry about
No, I recovered 2 phones at that time.
together?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that the first time you?
I was listening to all that. Does anybody feel confident in that cross-examination? That was absolutely dreadful. Really. That was absolutely dreadful. Like, they got nothing out of that. They got nothing out of that helps Kouri at all, in my opinion. So, I don't know why they did it. Yes, I told you guys. I got to clean some stuff up here because I had the 3D printer exploded, so I had to fix it. Yeah, it's just none of this makes sense, guys. None of this makes sense. Yeah, the max Kouri's facing is LWAP. So that was a horrible. Maddie says explain the drug cutoffs for testing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, they're not going to test every single thing as far as, reporting levels if it's not going to be important. The Emery Ruse sounding Warriors scores no points. Yeah, but we'll see what happens here with Detective Boot. Hi, Boosh. How you doing? Yeah, they haven't done a good job so far, but that doesn't mean they can't. And I heard they do later on in the day.
Ever met Mr. Grossman?
No, it was not.
All right, so you knew it to be Mr. Grossman because you had met him before.
Yes, ma'am.
And the way you had met him before is interviewing him?
Correct.
I can't go into the interview? Okay.
Not right now.
We're going to talk about that at another time.
Yes, ma'am.
At some point, were you ever asked to return the phones to Mr. Grossman?
I was.
Right. And then were you ever asked to go back and get them again?
I was.
So how many times total did you pick up phones, deliver them for review, take them back, pick them up, take them back? How many times did you do that?
I transported phones multiple times.
More than 2?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you give Mr. Grossman a reason why you had to keep coming back and getting his phones over and over and over again?
Yeah, I think we're beyond the scope at this point.
No, why don't you just ask him if he had a reason?
Did you have a reason for why you kept going back to get his phones, take them, bring them back, take them, bring them back?
I was instructed to retrieve them by my chain of command.
So you don't know the reason?
No, ma'am.
Right. And in those periods of time, in between when you pick up the phone, take it to the station, bring it back, pick it up, bring it back, in those in-between times, you don't know what he did with that phone, do you?
Can you be specific about the he?
Mr. Grossman, sorry. I'll try not to use a pronoun.
In one specific instance, Mr. Grossman had the phones. During that time, no, I do not know what he did with them.
Okay. Did he ever show you things on his phone when you were with him before you took them into your custody?
On those phones, no, they were not operable.
They were not operable.
Correct.
So you took inoperable phones from him?
Correct.
Did you ever take operable phones from him?
When I was instructed to get them back from Mr. Grossman, they were operable at that time.
And when you went to go visit him and look at his phone, did he show you anything on the phone?
On those phones, I don't recall.
Did he show you anything on any phone?
He has shown things on his current cell phone to me, but the phones in question, I don't recall him.
Did you compare his current phone to the, excuse me, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
My apologies. I interrupted you. Let me hear the question first, and then Ms. Sherman may have an objection.
Did you compare the current phone that he had to what was on that phone to the inoperable phones that ultimately became operable?
Pause for 1 second.
Your Honor, I do think we're beyond the scope now.
I agree. Sustained. Anything else about the 2 phones that Detective Root collected?
Did Mr. Grossman give you any reason why he believed the phones were inoperable?
Yes,
What was the reason he gave you?
he had broken them on accident.
Okay. Your Honor, we'll reserve the rest of our questioning for a later time, and we would ask that this witness not be released from his trial subpoena.
Understood. Detective, you're free to step down today. You may be called back in the future. We'll give you some notice.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Very good, sir. Yeah, watch out. Appropriate time to take a break, Ms. Sherman?
Sure.
Okay, let's take a restroom break, folks. Thank you. Please rise for the jury.
All right, chat. We're going to keep going here. I didn't know the cops did phone repair. Well, I mean, they could do it with it there, so. He played with them in his office for a week to get the
Mrs.
result he
Glover,
wanted to
who's on
convict
deck?
Karen Reed. Well, yes, that's true.
Okay, that person
Yes.
is present.
Yes.
Okay, if you would let them know to be ready to go at 10:45. Court's in recess until 10:45.
All right.
Very
All
good.
right,
Thank you.
chat. We're going to.
Before he takes the stand, I do need to move to admit the State's Exhibit 9-6 that Detective Root testified to. Is this just one talking bottle?
9-6 was
Hold on, chat. We're gonna try to refresh, see if we can get like closed captioning in this son of a bitch. Because that would help a lot.
Detective Root testified to. Is it just one bottle?
They are so
9-6
slow at one
was
speed.
2 phones. Are we admitting both or just the iPhone 7 that he testified to?
The iPhone 7 is the one you need.
This is so
I
slow
didn't catch the
otherwise.
color.
The color?
Yeah, it's either white or black. Do we know?
It's the only iPhone 7.
Understood. Okay. Any objection, Ms. Nestor?
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat the exhibit number, please?
It's the
9-6.
9-6. No objection. Your Honor.
okay. So the iPhone 7 that is part of 9-6 is admitted.
Thank you. We're ready for it.
Sir, if you would please step in front of Brittany, we'll get you sworn in.
Can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the pains and penalties of perjury? Thank you. Please have a seat.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You could state your name and spell your last name, please.
My name is Cheney Engta. Last name is spelled Echo November Golf hyphen Tango Oscar Whiskey.
Where do you work?
I
Wow.
work for the state of Utah
Wow, that is goobery. That is goobery, chat.
Department of Public Safety Bureau of Forensic Services, but I'm assigned to the Intermountain West Regional Computer Forensic Laboratory.
How do we refer to that place in shorthand?
IWRCFL.
IWRCFL.
Yep,
And what do you do? Is it okay if I refer to it as the RCFL?
absolutely.
Thank you. What do you do at the RCFL?
I'm a digital evidence laboratory technician there, and my primary role is to access data from Apple mobile devices.
Are you trained to perform cell phone downloads?
Yes.
What kind of programs do you use to do that work?
For Apple devices, we typically use a device known as Gray Key.
Are you certified to, well, I guess, do you need to be certified to use that program?
No.
Are you also familiar with Celebrate?
Yes.
Are you certified to use that program?
Yes, certain aspects of it, yes.
And what are your certifications in Celebrate?
Cellbrite certified operator and Cellbrite certified physical analyst.
What is Celebrate?
Cellbrite's just software that can be used to download phones, and it can also be used to parse out extractions which are obtained from phones. So it puts the data in a readable format for people.
Did you receive a request from the Summit County Sheriff's Office to do extractions or downloads from cell phones?
Yes, they submitted 2 phones to the IWRCFL.
And were you able to complete downloads of those 2 phones?
Yes.
I want to talk first about the white iPhone 12 with the phone number ending 1987. Were you able to perform a download of this phone?
Yes.
And did you get a full file system acquisition from that phone?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's just the type of there are different levels of information you can get from a cell phone when you extract them. In this case, we were given the passcode to the phone by Summit County when they submitted it. If you know the passcode or are able to break the passcode of the phone, you will get what's known as a full file system, which is essentially all the data from the cell phone.
And so you were able to obtain the raw data from that phone?
Yes.
And it was put into a readable format?
Yes.
And was that information from that phone ending in 1987 given back to the Summit County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to ask you the same questions for the second phone. You said there were 2 phones. Did you able to complete a download from a green iPhone 11, phone number ending 9317?
Yes, I believe it was an 11 Pro Max.
11 Pro Max. And same question, you're able to perform a download for that phone?
Yes, we were given the passcode to that phone as well.
And did you similarly get a full file system acquisition?
Yes.
And was that raw data then put into a readable format?
Yes.
And was that information given back to the Summit County Sheriff's Office?
Yes.
Okay, those are all my questions for you. Thank you.
Mr. Ramos.
Very brief. Good morning.
Morning.
Could we geek out for just a little bit?
Sure.
All right. Could you just walk the jury through the process of how you use Gray Key, what that gives you, in what format, what you then do with Celebrite, what you then get from Celebrite, what the format is, and then ultimately how it gets back to the Summit County Sheriff's Office. So basically everything you've just talked to, but break it down if that's okay.
Sure.
Perfect. Go ahead.
So essentially, we take the phone. Now, in this case, as I mentioned, we knew the passcode. So we would verify the passcode worked. I would unlock the phone, and then you connect it to Gray Key, which looks like a little computer. It looks kind of like an Apple Mac Mini is what it kind of looks like. Through a combination of the hardware proprietary, which is what Gray Key is, hardware and software, it then accesses the data on the phone and it gets an extraction, which in this case, as we mentioned, was a full file system extraction. That data is saved by Gray Key in the form of a zip file. Now, that zip file is not readable. You couldn't just connect it to any other computer, just open it up and look at it. So that data has to be parsed out, essentially. And
I'm sorry to interrupt. Could you explain how the data would look if we were to open it up before putting it into the Celebrite system?
You couldn't really even open it.
Okay.
Yeah, so it would not be accessible. You need forensic software to access it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. So then we use a program which was previously mentioned called Cellbrite. Now in this case, we're using Cellbrite Physical Analyzer, which is just a Cellbrite software that takes this extraction. So you load the extraction in, and then it parses that data that from the extraction into the various types of data that everybody would see on your cell phone today. So you would see it parses out to the SMS, text messages, MMS, messages, emails, Word documents, pictures, videos. All the data is just put into a format that when you go into Physical Analyzer, you could say, show, I want to see all the text that came from this particular phone number, and then you could read the texts that were sent. Once that information is parsed out, you then create a report. So it generates a report of all that data, and it creates something we call using a UFED reader, which is just part of Cellbrite. It's like a standalone reader that allows us to give all the data from this report, along with the reader, back to the agency that submitted to us. Then they take it. It typically is put onto like a Blu-ray. It depends how big the phone is. It may be saved to a Blu-ray disc. It may be saved to a thumb drive or hard drive. But in any case, that detective would then take what we've given them. They would load it into their computer, open up this reader program. The reader then is populated by the data from the extraction, and then they can go through and look for text or pictures or videos or whatever information that they're looking for.
And that's when the analysis will come in. Is that correct? Or the review of that information?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You did mention that you had two, what do we call certifications for Cellbrite? I believe.
Yes.
Could you explain what those are and if they have any acronyms?
One is the Cellbrite Certified Operator, CCO. It's a certification that gives you familiarity and experience with using Cellbrite as a whole. And then CCPA, which is the Cellbrite Certified Physical Analyst, is using that Physical Analyzer program, which is what we use to parse that data out from those zip extractions.
And do you have any other certifications in Cellbrite?
I have a certification in Cellbrite Premium.
And what is that?
Cellbrite Premium is kind of a competitor to GreatKey. It's used to access cell phones, mainly locked cell phones.
Perfect. With the CCO and the CCPA, those certifications, do you need to renew them at any point, or are they kind of lifelong?
Yeah, I mean, you do it once and
you're solid.
Yeah.
I imagine, because of the constant updates and technology in our phone, I imagine that Cellbrite also updates. Is that fair?
Yes.
In terms of what they can extract?
Yeah, both Cellbrite and GreatKey are updated constantly.
So I imagine because of that, you take additional classes or training. Would that be fair?
When and if I can. Yes.
Correct, yeah. I imagine you're quite busy.
Yes.
The last question I had is, you had mentioned, I could put it in quotes, certain aspects that while using Cellbrite, that you were certified to use certain aspects. Are there certain things that your two certifications maybe wouldn't cover, or that if anybody was in the analysis process would need something else?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Those are all the questions I have. Thank you so much for your time.
Just one question, Judge. So you went through the process of how the raw data comes from the phone and then it's placed it to a readable format. When that's taking place, is it correct that the data can't be manipulated in any way?
Yes. So when we get extraction from GreatKey creates what is known as a hash value. You can think of a hash value as kind of like a digital fingerprint. So every file is unique. For instance, if I went into a Word and I created a file with typed hello, and then I saved that file, and then I ran a hash, I got a hash value from it, which is just a hash is just a mathematical algorithm that looks at the file, and then it gives you a unique like fingerprint, which is basically a big long hexadecimal set of alphanumeric characters, but they're unique to that file. So in my example with this Word document, it would give me a value. Now, if I opened that document again and I put a period after the O and then saved it, and then I would hash that file again, that hash value would be completely different. So the way we use that is, now that I have the hash value for the extractions that I got from these two cell phones, I copied those to staging media, which is essentially a forensically wiped hard drive. Once I copy it to that hard drive, I then hashed the extractions on that hard drive. Those values that I got should and did match the values that GreatKey gave me. So now I know my files on that hard drive are identical to what GreatKey pulled off. Mathematically, it's impossible for them to be different. That hard drive was then provided to an examiner in our laboratory who then processed the data. When he was done processing that data, he would then hash the extractions again at the end. If those extractions show the exact same hash value, we can then say we did not change those extraction, which is the data from the phone, at all. And we could say it's identical to what GreatKey got.
And that's what happened in
this
case.
Yes. And in this case, the hash values all matched as they should.
Thank you.
Mr. Ramos.
So that's kind of like a double-blind kind of validation process, correct?
If you want to refer to it that way.
Yeah, just to make sure that everything's the same.
Yeah.
Now, because of that, because it can't be manipulated, or you verify that it can't be manipulated, there's no reason to do another extraction, correct?
Correct.
No further questions. Thank you.
Mr. Sherman, anything else for this witness?
No, Judge.
You can step down, sir. May we release this gentleman?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Feel free to go. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Not a whole lot to be gained from this one either, guys. Not a whole lot to be gained here. So.
Mr. Holden, if you step in front of Brittany, we'll get you sworn.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the pains and penalties of perjury? Thank you. Have a seat.
This guy, like,
Can you please state your full name?
like, this looks like he's like some sort of like Gronk type dude.
And spell your last name for the record.
Brian Holden, Holden.
Sir, are you employed?
Yes, I am.
By whom?
I'm employed by the Utah Bureau of Forensic Services, also known as the Utah State Crime Lab.
How long have you been with the State Crime Lab?
I've been with the State Crime Lab for over 20 years.
And what is your current...
Oh my god, I hate it when, like, guys, if you ever have to testify, don't go like every time. You answer a question to the jury and go like a Terminator, you're like, "Dot," and you reslay back on to the person asking questions. Like, kind of like look in between them, or maybe just like, "Oh yeah, here's what I do. Here's what I do. Oh, that, yeah, well, I kind of do that." But he's just like, "Wop, wop, wop." Like, no.
capacity?
Currently, I'm a senior forensic scientist.
Don't do that.
I analyze unknown substances, determine their identification,
holding nuts in
and
his
determine
mouth.
if it is, if that substance is controlled.
And were you serving in that same capacity in March 2022?
Yes, I was.
Or I guess continuing through 23, 24 in that same capacity?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So in this particular case, were you given a number of items to test?
I was, yes.
What were you asked to test?
I was asked to analyze. Can you clarify? Are you asking what I was asked to look for, or what
were you
items?
No. You were given a large number of items to test.
Okay.
Were you given specific instructions to look for certain properties or certain substances?
Okay, thank you. Yes, I was asked to look for a compound or a controlled substance named fentanyl in all of the items that were submitted to the lab.
Okay. And of all those things, let me just back up. When you receive something, is there a two-process testing that you do?
Yes, to be able to identify a controlled substance based off of our operating procedures, we do a presumptive test followed by a confirmation test.
And the initial presumptive or screening then tells you, oh, I can move on to this next step?
Correct.
I see. Okay. So of all the items you were given, did you run the screening?
I did, yes.
And after doing that, did you find what were you looking for, I guess, is what I should be asking.
Like I previously stated, they asked me to look for fentanyl.
Nothing else?
No.
Okay. So were you able to confirm any fentanyl on anything that you tested?
No, I was not.
Okay. May I have one moment, Your Honor?
Of course.
No fentanyl on anything. That's not good for Kouri. That's not good for Team Kouri right there. Cool, buddy. So. God, that thing is so damn loud. It scared the shit out of me.
You were, what items? Okay. This.
What the fuck is that noise? That's scary.
May it please the court. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Kathy Nesser. I'm one of the attorneys representing Kouri Richins.
Okay.
I do have just a few questions for you.
Sure.
If we could pull up for the witness only, State's Exhibit 1-19.
It's not like there was like a washing machine with a brick in it, and I'm like,
Sir, can you
oh
see that in front
God,
of
what's
you?
going on out
Can you
here in
tell
my
me what that
house?
document is?
It is a report that was issued. for this case, I believe.
Was it the report you issued to report the results of your testing of these items?
I would need to see the second page or
Can you go
third
to the
page.
second page? I think your name
yeah,
might be on the
there
last
should be on the last page.
There it is.
Yes, it is.
That's your signature?
Correct.
Okay, great. Can we go back to the first page, please, Katie? Just to refresh your memory, sir, do you remember who was the investigating officer responsible for getting these items to you by looking at your...
He's like, I
The
don't
investigating
recall.
Officer is Jamie Woody, I believe
Right.
that's how you
And
pronounce
then
it.
who was the individual who delivered these documents?
What's your
If that
name?
refreshes
Mr.
your memory.
Bird.
Yeah, that'd be
Your first name.
Chelsea
I don't
Gibson.
know.
Okay. Now, on the documents that you tested, I believe you said you were only asked to test for fentanyl. Is that correct?
Correct.
Documents, I don't think there's any mention of testing documents. So
May we agree to items?
Did I say documents?
Do you want me to check my DM or Hella?
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, are you going to send me something?
And were you
Rob?
ever asked to run any tests on any of the pills or other items that were seized from the home to see if any of them contained oxycodone?
No, I was not asked to do that.
And you've never been asked to do that in the last 4 years.
No, I was not.
And have you ever been asked to test any of the items that were pulled from the home for hydrocodone?
No, I was not.
And I didn't hear you say, do you have a chemistry background?
No, I have a degree in forensic science, which is heavy in chemistry and biology.
So do you know the difference between oxycodone and hydrocodone?
If I look at the structure of them, yeah, they have a different molecular structure.
But are they both considered pain pills?
Correct. They're both opiates. They're both controlled, Schedule II controlled substances.
And you were also not asked to search any items for OxyContin.
No, OxyContin would be like the brand name, which would contain oxycodone. So no.
Thank you. And I believe you tested, it appears to me, and please refresh your memory if you need to, if we want to go to page 3 of the report, but it looks like you tested a total of 19 items that were brought to you. Is that right?
Correct.
And of those 19 items, were you asked to test an empty pill bottle, an empty hydrocodone pill bottle with residue on the inside of it?
I would have to refer to my notes.
Pause for 1 second. What's the objection? Mr. Burmester.
it exceeds the scope.
You want to make way? Sure.
Okay. So I guess we're going to work on this. And that was a little weird. Let's see what he does. And let's see what they come up with here.
Ms. Hester,
Chat.
foundation objection is sustained. Would you please lay some foundation?
I'd be happy to, Your Honor. So I want to go back to the question I just asked you about the hydrocodone bottle. If you were presented with an item to test that was an empty pill bottle, what would you do to test that item?
To test that item, I would rinse it with
Swab it out.
and then run our screening procedure.
Rinse the inside,
Correct.
and whatever residue would be inside that bottle, you would test it. And if there was none, you would say there's none.
Correct.
Right. So were you given the opportunity to do that with a hydrocodone bottle
No.
in this case?
I would have to refer to my notes, but I don't recall.
Please take a moment and let's let you go through the 19 items. Katie, can you start with one? And just when you're ready for us to go to the next page, sir, please let us know.
Oh, I will need to refer to my notes that I prepared that has descriptions of what I tested and what was inside of the packaging.
Have you provided those notes to anybody?
I don't. Usually that's done through grandma requests.
Did you bring those notes with you today?
I did, yes.
Can you take a look at them?
Yes.
And can I see them for just
What? Wait, why weren't his notes turned over? Oh no, I've got notes nobody's known about. What? What? That's interesting. That's interesting. Ariel's saying, how could they exceed the scope? Maybe there was a motion limiting. I don't know. So yeah, where's Ag? Where's Ag? This guy sounds autistic enough to be Ag.
a moment, please?
I can provide you with a copy of them, yes.
Yes. Can we do that now? May I approach you?
With Mr. Burmester, please.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem here. Yeah, don't worry. There's totally not Brady material in these. Trust me.
Yeah, I think it would be helpful.
Okay. Folks, let's let you stretch your legs. Please rise for the jury.
Yeah, we're gonna need a couple minutes here.
Counsel, the state's next witness.
Oh, hold on here. Oh, okay. Wow, that.
Mr. Holden, you're still under oath. Please wait for Ms. Nestor's next question.
May it please the court. Okay, so we took a little break and you had an opportunity to review your notes that would refresh your recollection if you were handed or asked to test an empty hydrocodone bottle. After reviewing those notes, what is your answer to that question?
There was no empty bottle that was submitted for me to test.
Ooh,
At this point, that's all I have. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time.
Is there anything further for this
we're going down the road of they didn't do a good investigation. I mean, that's kind of where you have to go here. So makes sense.
No, Your Honor.
Counsel, may we release this witness?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Burmester?
Yes.
Mr. Holden, you're free to go. Thank you for your time. Counsel, the state's next witness.
Your Honor, we're prepared to, but that might be splitting up a direct.
If you are comfortable doing that, I'm comfortable getting started. If you would prefer to not do that, I can understand why. We can break for lunch now.
Your Honor, I think we also have some other issues to discuss. So maybe if we were to break for lunch now, we could discuss those other issues outside the presence of the jury.
That's fine.
And then maybe reconvene 12:30.
I think that's fair. Does that work, Ms. Nestor?
Yes.
All right, for the jury.
And at least to start with, I also think it is, and I
It's ruling on any one.
would like to.
I like how they call her a grief author. She really isn't, though. She's not a grief author. She's not really that. I mean, like, she made the book, but like, they make it sound like fucking like James Patterson's on trial, or the fucking what's the name of that lady? Does the Stephanie Plum books. It's not like those bitches are on trial.
Mr. Bloodworth, we're on the record.
Your Honor, the state would like to make a record of, and I guess ask for reconsideration at the same time, what we discussed at a bench conference.
Can't go back in time, but you can make a
I
record.
appreciate it. It
Yeah.
may be more prophylactic than retrospective.
If when you're making this record, you would please remember that the court's ruling on any one objection to any one form of question is not necessarily a predictor of how it will rule on the objective form of a future question.
Understood and agreed, Your Honor. Yeah. The issue has come up where defense counsel is using hypotheticals with fact witnesses, and hypotheticals kind of are treated differently between expert witnesses and fact witnesses. It is the state's read of Utah law, and let me give the court a cite, please. It is Utah Department of Transportation versus 6200 South Associates, 872 P. 2nd 462. Quick and dirty, that's kind of, I think, the case, at least to start with. I also think, to be fair, it's a little unclear because it deals with hypotheticals in a expert witness context versus a fact witness context. But it's the state's read of Utah law that for a fact witness, a hypothetical has to involve admissible evidence. I think the defense, and I can give examples, I have a dirty of this morning's transcript, is presenting hypotheticals to fact witnesses based on inadmissible evidence. That inadmissible evidence is statements of the defendant that I do not see a hearsay exception to. Now, so I don't think those hypotheticals are, as a matter of law, permissible. Now, I can see a read under Utah Department of Transportation where it is in the discretion, it is in the court's discretion whether to admit those hypotheticals. And if that is the proper read of it, I don't think it is, but it might be, then the state asserts that in these instances, the court should exercise that its discretion and exclude the defendant's, the kind of the defense counsel's hypotheticals that are based on inadmissible, self-serving evidence of defendant's statements. That's the issue.
I appreciate the record. Just practically speaking, on a going forward basis, I think it would be helpful to me and opposing counsel if, when the state is objecting on this basis, you just stand up and say objection foundation. Let's see if they rephrase or if they push back, and then I can exercise discretion as appropriate.
Will do, yeah.
Okay. May I also just ask a favor? Can we have a one horse, one rider rule going forward at sidebar? You're, of course, allowed to confer, act as a team, but I just need one speaker from each side of the V at the sidebar.
I appreciate that, Your Honor. Certainly.
He's like, you too many damn people up here. I'm not dealing with this.
Does the rider at sidebar have to be the same rider that's examining the witness?
That would typically be the rule. We can just agree that that's not going to be the case. I'm not sure how you feel about your team dynamics if the person behind you is jumping up to object. And
I appreciate that, but I think
So
Ms.
maybe,
Nestor has often argued regardless, and I have often argued regardless.
so what I'm asking for going forward, and if you would please just give it the college try on a going forward basis, that, for example, this is just an example, I'm not picking on anybody. If Mr. Burmester is examining the witness and an objection is made, you're welcome to confer with him right here as he comes up, but I need Mr. Burmester to be the one talking in the mic.
Will do.
Okay, any objection, Ms. Nestor?
No, sir, we would appreciate that.
Okay, Ms. Lewis, you're about to say something.
No,
Okay.
I agree.
All right. Anything else on the record before we recess for lunch? Mr. Flepper,
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Lewis, Ms. Nestor, Mr. Ramos. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your patience. We will be back on the record at 12:30. I need to make this crystal clear. If any of you see a juror out in the wild, you need to turn around and walk the other way. I cannot emphasize this more heavily. All right, 12:30. We're in recess.
Something must have happened if he's like admonishing them like that. This is interesting. Yes, she's guilty. We could go straight to the deliberations. Yeah. Yeah, so let's see here. This will be interesting. But yeah, chat, we're all gas, no breaks here. We got another half hour left before we get ready for the 9 o'clock show, so we're gonna just get through this here. Okay, this is the good stuff. Here we go.
Back a little bit.
Yeah, that's like, it's like right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Again, please.
This is the one I was told to get ready for. Here we go.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a direct support intake. I work with people with disability and mental challenges and stuff.
Wait, is this the one that was their housekeeper or no? Somebody like she kind of looks like that person. I don't know though.
Do you have a history of drug use?
Yes.
When did that history begin?
6th grade, I was smoking pot, and it just varied up through junior high and high school.
How did it vary up?
Through cocaine, through pot, through mushrooms, LSD, acid, just drinking stuff through junior high and high school.
Did it continue into adulthood?
Yes.
For how long?
For most of my adulthood.
Have you ever sold drugs?
Yes.
Do you have a criminal history involving drugs?
Yes.
Does it involve drug possession?
Yes.
Does it involve drug distribution?
Yes.
Do you have felony convictions for drug distribution?
Yes.
Are you currently on a type of probation for drug distribution?
Yes.
And are you on a probation for a felony drug distribution?
Yes.
Is that probation in Wasatch County's drug court?
Yes.
What
Ooh, it's a drug court.
Drug court is where you go in, give you the
Interesting.
tools to rehabilitate yourself. They give you groups, personal therapy, one-on-one treatment. They give you random UAs. They have you complete an MRT book. Just tools to rehabilitate yourself.
When you say UAs, is that urinalysis testing
Yes.
to see if you're hot for drugs?
Yes, they would call in daily, and you would either have a number or a color. And if your color number was called, you had to go to 5-minute clinic and do a UA.
And is the idea behind drug court that it's a rehabilitative program under court supervision?
Yes.
And that if you complete the rehabilitative part of the court supervision, there's some benefit to your pending charges?
Yes, it's a clean advance.
Okay, and a clean advance means it doesn't go down as a conviction.
It doesn't go on your record, yes.
Are you also pending charges in Wasatch County for marijuana possession and possession of a gun by a person who's prohibited from possessing a gun?
Yes.
Are you sober now?
Yes.
How long, ma'am, have you been sober?
A little over 4 years.
Is that the longest time in your life since 6th grade that you've been sober?
Absolutely. Except for the time I was pregnant. It's the only time I quit. And then I'd go back to being high. But yes, 4 years, a little 4 years.
It's longer. I apologize for interrupting. We're going to make a small adjustment. Turn the mic a little bit towards me. You just need to line up with your face a little better. There, and then pull it forward maybe 1 inch. Okay.
I feel like it's jumping out.
Yeah, you just,
Okay.
that's a little more comfortable. There you go.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, chat.
Are you represented by a lawyer?
She's.
connecting your testimony?
We're gonna get to why she's critical.
Are you testifying pursuant to several grants of immunity?
Yes.
Is one of those
Whoa.
grants of immunity in a letter from Summit Council?
Woo!
Yes.
Is one of those grants of immunity in a letter from Salt Lake County?
Yes.
Is one of those grants of immunity in a letter from the federal government?
Yes.
And is there also an understanding between you and Wasatch County, or at least your attorney and Wasatch County, that there's immunity for the gun and the marijuana in Wasatch County?
Yes.
And you have those 4 grants of immunity because you have committed crimes in connection with this case in all 4 of those jurisdictions.
Yes.
What is your understanding of those immunity agreements?
I'm proceeding forward with the truth, and there will be no charges filed back on me.
Do you understand that they require you, in order to avoid criminal exposure, they require you to testify today truthfully?
Yes.
Do they require you to testify today fully?
Yes.
Regardless of who's asking you the questions?
Yes.
And that if you don't testify truthfully and fully, you could lose all of that immunity?
Yes.
Did your lawyer assist you in getting that immunity?
Yes.
Did he advise you of the potential criminal exposure you face if you lose that immunity?
Yes. Yes. Sorry. Yeah, just like, yeah, I'm fine.
Did you interview with investigators before you got immunity in those cases?
Yes.
About how many times?
Six times, 6 or 7 times.
And over the course of those 6 or 7 times before you had immunity, about how many hours total did you speak with investigators?
Give or take 10, 15 hours.
Why did you speak with investigators before you were granted immunity?
Well, after they told me what I was being held for, sorry, I wanted to make sure it was the right thing to do, if this is actually what happened.
What do you mean, if this is actually what happened?
They told me that Eric had died of it.
Well,
All right, chat. Let's see here. So she's snitching out.
And died. They granted immunity. You started.
I think she's probably snitching out and to help herself in drug court and other things like that. And I'm sure her drug court, which, guys, if you don't know what drug court is a treatment. Like, I know she described a little bit, but basically you show up on like a weekly or, bi-weekly basis, depending on how much, sometimes even multiple times a week. You meet with the court, you meet with like probation, you meet with care providers, you meet with organizations in the community that help, and they're there for you. Like, let's get your mental health going. Do you need a bus voucher? Do you have a job yet? Can we help you get a job? Job and Family Services is here, and they do all this stuff together with everybody, and they set this all up for you. And the idea is eventually, as you progress through this, by the time you're out, we've helped you got a place, you got a job, you're not doing drugs, and like you're on the right track in life. It's actually a really good thing. They're very helpful for people. And I'm sure whatever she pled out to was conditioned. She would have to cooperate here. So it's very important stuff. It's where the judge do a line before sentencing. Ariel says, not normal being someone in drug court 5 years. Yeah, but I'm sure that they were willing to give her a lot of chances here. Now, the other way drug courts work, too, though, is you come in and you test all the time. And because of that, courts, part of your agreement to being in a drug court, there's also a public defender there. The courts could sanction you while you're at drug court. They could say, normally you're not going to jail, but they might be like, you're on house arrest, and we're going to put a GPS monitor on you for a week. Sometimes you're on curfew. All kinds of stuff. They come up with ways to help you fight through this stuff. Yeah, 5 years is a lot, but yeah. How often do you get drug court when you supply drugs to kill somebody? Like I said, no, this is a little different. This is a little different. This situation. So.
To say that the investigators told you that Eric had died. Is that right?
Yes.
Can you please pick up your testimony from there?
When they had first told me that, when they first mentioned that Eric, I already knew Eric had passed away, but when they had mentioned that it was from an overdose, that hit hard. Only for the fact that if that's what happened, I needed to step up and take accountability of my part in this that happened and what I was asked for. At first, it took a minute to process everything. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Is it fair to summarize, though, that you interviewed with investigators before you had immunity, in part to take accountability for your part in Eric's death?
Yes.
Was another part of the reason you spoke with investigators prior to a grant of immunity was that you hoped you would eventually get some benefit, some grant of immunity?
Yes.
Before you interviewed with investigators prior to the grant of immunity, right, the 6 interviews over 10 to 15 hours, had you consulted with an attorney?
No.
Had you reviewed any materials to prepare for those interviews?
No, I was in jail. Yeah.
Did you meet with your lawyer to prepare for testifying today?
No, I could read them. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm confused. Sorry, ask the question.
I'll ask it again. To get ready for today, did you meet with your lawyer?
No. Oh, yeah, sorry, in the back room, yeah, sorry.
Not just today. Let me just ask you another. To prepare, you knew today was going to come, right?
Oh, yes.
In order to get ready for today, over the course of the several weeks or months, have you met with your lawyer to prepare to testify like you are now?
Yes.
In the course of that preparation, did you review any materials so that you would be ready?
Yes.
What did you review?
Some of my testimonies when I was in jail and some pictures and data from cell phones. And
Ma'am, did you know Kouri Richins?
yes,
How did you know her?
I worked for her aunt for LTD's personal house cleaning.
And as part of working for Kouri Richins' aunt's house cleaning business, did you clean Kouri Richins' home?
Yes, every other Friday, unless she needed an extra clean or a deep clean.
About how long did you know Kouri Richins?
I worked for her aunt for 9 years.
And did you know Kouri Richins that whole 9 years?
Yes, we got to know each other throughout the years.
Did you also perform other cleaning services for Kouri Richins?
Yes, when I wasn't working for Doreen, I reached out to her and asked her if she had any house cleaning or landscaping or anything that she needed help with.
Did you ever discuss your drug history with Kouri Richins?
Yes.
How so?
We just talked about how how I was going in drug court and when I would graduate, and she would reach out and ask how things were going, or if we'd run into each other. I tell her I'm almost graduating.
And that's the drug court in Wasatch County.
Yes.
When did you go into drug court in Wasatch County?
Late 21. I had my evaluation in 2019 and I entered in late 2021.
So then am I right that your drug court discussions with Kouri Richins would have been while you were in drug court beginning in late 2021?
Yes.
Did you know Eric Richins?
Yes.
How did you know him?
I cleaned his house, and he'd come in and he would joke with us that we were there a little later than we should have been, and he'd tell us, get out of here, we're working past 5 o'clock, it's time to go home. I've gone to their house with my grandkids on a barbecue when it was one of their son's birthdays with her aunt.
Did you know that Eric Richins owned a stonemasonry business?
Yes.
Did you know any of the workers that he employed in that business?
No.
Did Kouri Richins ever ask you to purchase for her illicit drugs?
Yes.
How many times?
4.
Did you purchase illicit drugs for her?
Yes.
How many times?
4.
When you purchased illicit drugs for Kouri Richins the first time, who did you purchase the drugs from?
Susan Kohler.
When you purchased for Kouri Richins drugs the second time, who did you purchase the drugs from?
Robbie.
By Robbie, do you mean Robert Crozier?
Yes.
How about the third time?
Robbie.
The fourth time?
Robbie.
Let's please begin with the first purchase of drugs for Kouri Richins from Susan Kohler, okay? How did Kouri Richins approach you about purchasing drugs?
She reached out and asked if I could do her a favor, and I said, yeah, probably, what is it? And then she called me and asked me if I could reach out to somebody for some pay meds for an investor that she knew. And I told her I could see what I could do. So I knew Susan Kohler was still using at the time, an active user still. And then Susan Kohler reached back and told me she knew somebody that had some pain meds. That's great.
How did you know Susan Kohler?
She used to work. She was working for Doreen at the time.
And how did you know Susan Kohler was an active user at that time?
Because that's one of the reasons why I quit working with Doreen, because they were still active users.
So you had worked with her at the time?
Yes.
Knew she was an active user?
Over the year, yeah.
When did Kouri Richins approach you that first time to get drugs?
February 11th, February 10th, right around there.
Was it February or was it January?
Was it early February?
Early February?
In January, early February.
I'm so sorry, Ms. Lawler. I'm sitting at 3 feet away. I
Sorry.
can't hear what you're saying. I just need you to speak louder.
Okay.
Thank you. Like louder than you just did.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay,
That-
sorry.
We're going to treat that as the floor. It's that point and louder. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so sorry.
It's okay.
About what time? Month, beginning month, end of month? Was it end of January, early February, late February? When was it?
Early February.
Would that be 2022?
Yes.
How about the money for the drugs? Did Kouri Richins front you money for the drugs?
For Susan?
Susan, I'm only talking about Susan
Okay.
Kohler. I think that might be confusing.
Yeah, no.
I'm only talking about Susan Kohler.
No, she did not. I had given Susan money.
Okay, how much money?
$600.
What drugs did you ask Susan Kohler? What type of drug did you ask Susan Kohler for on Kouri Richins' behalf?
Just some kind of painkiller, an opiate.
Okay. And you gave Susan Kohler $600 of your money.
Yes.
What in return did Susan Kohler give you?
A couple hours later, she returned back to my house with an envelope full of pills.
Okay, what type of envelope?
Just a mailing envelope.
The normal letter?
Just a white envelope, yeah.
Did you look in the envelope?
No.
How did you know it was full of pills?
Susan told me that's what was in there.
Did you feel the envelope?
Yeah.
Did it feel like there were pills?
Yeah, they were just little round pills.
What did you do next?
Then I had texted Kouri and told her that I had got some pills for her and asked her what she wanted me to do with them. Told me she would, it was late when Susan returned, so she showed up in my driveway the next morning.
Okay, when you say she showed up in your driveway, Kouri Richins showed up in your driveway the next morning.
Yes.
Did you hand Kouri Richins the pills that next morning in your driveway?
Yes.
Did she give you any money for those pills?
Yes. She gave me back the $600 that I put up for her.
You mentioned you have the part of this transaction with Kouri Richins and Susan Kohler involved text messages. Do you have any of those text messages?
No.
Do you know what happened to those text messages?
I deleted them.
Why?
Because if I had lost my phone or anybody else got a hold of my phone or anybody in drug court wanted to see my phone, it was evidence that I was not following drug court rules. I was still involved with people that were using.
It was evidence that you're dealing drugs, right?
Participating in selling drugs.
Let's talk about the second time that you purchased drugs for Kouri Richins, which is, am I right, the first time you purchased them from Robert Crozier?
Yes.
All right, let's talk about that first purchase from Robert Crozier. How did Kouri Richins approach you on that purchase?
She reached out to me in text message that her investor needed or wanted something stronger. And I kind of told her, well, I can reach out to the people I don't know. You just can't say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. When you're buying drugs off the street, you pretty much purchase what you get. And at the time, I didn't know anybody. So I reached out to another acquaintance I knew that was still using, which would be Nicole.
Okay. You reached out. Keep your voice up, please.
What's that?
Can you keep your voice up, please?
Yes.
Okay. So you reached out to an acquaintance of yours, Nicole, that you knew was still using, right?
Yes, at the time.
And is that Nicole Cummings?
Yes.
How did you reach out initially? How did you reach out to Nicole Cummings?
On Facebook Messenger.
Scott, can I get 3-3, please?
Scott, can you go to our roll dance? Would you disconnect? Yes, sir. Back. I don't know why that happens, but it seems that unplugging and plugging back in.
What's the jeopardy?
There we go. For the witness, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Just the witness.
There you go.
I was like, oh, I can't see it.
Can you see it there?
Yes.
Okay. And you just, when you turn your head, the light has to follow. There you go. Thank you.
Ms. Lauber, do you recognize that document? It's a Facebook exchange that you had with Ms. Cummings.
Yes, it's off my Facebook Messenger.
And is that an accurate depiction of the exchange you had with Ms. Cummings?
Yes.
Your Honor, the statement was 3-3 in the evidence.
No objection.
State 3-3 is admitted. Would you like to publish, Mr. Blair?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Lawbert, you see there, blown up out of 3-3 where it says, text me, I got a question and won't do it on this.
Yes.
Did you send that
Ooh.
message?
Oh,
to
shit.
Ms. Cummins?
Yes.
Okay.
And it says on February the 5th, 2022.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Why did you send that message?
I was going to ask her if she knew anybody that had any bills.
And you didn't want to ask her over Facebook?
No.
Why not?
Because once again, that's showing what I'm trying to buy. Illegal activities of drug, buying drugs.
We could hear that, sir.
Illegal activity buying drugs.
Thanks, Scott. Did you ultimately speak to Ms. Cummings over the phone?
Yes, I did.
And what did you ask her?
If she knew anybody who had any opiate pills for sale.
And how did she respond?
She said yes, she had a friend that could help me.
And did she identify the friend?
Yeah, she gave me his name. She said Robbie.
And is that the Robert Crozier you mentioned before?
Yes, it is.
Did she put you in contact with Robert Crozier?
Yeah, she gave me his number.
Did you call Robert Crozier?
Yes, I did.
What, if anything, did you ask Robert Crozier?
If he knew anybody who had any pain pills for sale.
And how did he respond?
He said he would reach out to a couple of people.
Did he ever get back to you after that?
Yes, he did.
When he got back to you, what did he say?
He said he had a buddy that had some fentanyl pills.
What then did you do?
I texted Kouri back and told her that I had a friend that could get them, but they were fentanyl pills.
So you told Kouri you had a friend hooked up for fentanyl pills?
Yes.
How did Kouri Richins respond?
She said, okay, go ahead and get them.
So, did you go ahead and get them?
Yes.
I mean, she's a junkie, so you have to be careful about believing her. But, oh, God, that's not good.
What was the next step in getting them?
The next step was reaching out to Robbie and tell them to go ahead and get them.
Did you arrange a time and location to purchase the pills from Robbie?
Robbie did, actually.
Okay.
Because he was coming up from up north. So he had me go to a Maverick off 126 in Draper. It was closer to his person.
Let me maybe do this one more time. The text messages between you and Robbie, do you have them?
No.
Are they deleted?
Yes.
Did you delete them?
Yes.
Because they were evidence of drug distribution?
Yes.
Objection leading.
I think you're going to testify about a lot of text messages. Did you delete them all
Yes.
for the same reason?
Exactly.
Okay, so you set up to purchase fentanyl from Robert Crozier at the Maverick in Draper.
Yes.
Did you front the money for these?
No. That was more, way higher.
How much money was involved in this transaction?
$1,000.
How did the money come about? Who?
So I reached out to Kouri and told her yes, that it would be kind of pricey. And then so I asked her how she wanted me to grab them. I had to go to the house in Midway, not the mansion. It was a Midway house that she was flipping. And the money would be in there.
Okay. So let me make sure I understand. Kouri Richins said she would leave you $1,000 at a small.
They made a stash. One of the house she's flipping. It's a stash house. Kouri Richins is a trap queen, chat. She is a trap queen. Man, this has got everything. I love this.
House in Midway.
Yes.
Scott, can I get 8-12, please?
The best thing ever.
Ms. Lauber, do you recognize this photograph?
Yes, I do.
Is that the small house in Midway that you're thinking of?
Yes.
Is that an accurate depiction of the small house?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves to admit 8-12.
No objection.
812 submitted.
Ms. Lauber, did you enter that house and get the $1,000?
Yes, I did.
How did you enter the house?
Kouri told me the back door was unlocked.
Was it?
Yes.
Did you enter through the back door?
Yes, I did.
Where inside the house was the money?
In a closet in a box with a couple of coffee cups.
Thanks, Scott. So once you got the money, what did you do next?
I had called Robbie and told him, okay, I had the money. How long it would take him to get down from where he was coming from.
This is
Did you
interesting.
then drive to the?
This is so weird.
I didn't drive at the time. I didn't have a car.
Who drove? Did somebody drive you?
Yes, Nancy.
Okay. Is Nancy Peterson?
Yes.
Where did she drive? Where did she pick you up?
At my house in Heber, off of Center Street.
And then she drove you from your house in Heber to the Maverick and Draper?
Yes, down Provo Canyon.
Down Provo Canyon. Scott, can I get 3-7, please? Ms. Walker, do you recognize that document?
Yes, I do.
Is that an extraction of your some photographs on your from your cell phone?
Yes, it is.
Is that an accurate depiction of the photographs extracted from your cell phone?
Yes.
Your Honor, the state moves 3-7 in evidence.
Probably to check. I don't think that Ms. Walker can identify the Celebrite. Celebrite hasn't even been introduced in evidence. I suppose she could introduce the photos. If they want to pull up the photos separately, she can't identify the Celebrite, which is not.
You can identify them as photos from her cell phone, correct?
I think she can. Yes, it's photos from her cell phone if they want to show the photos without it being on the Celebrite extraction.
Okay. For the moment, Scott, can you?
Your Honor, we're going photo by photo. It's D1, D2, D3.
Let's do that. We'll come back to this. Is there? I'm sorry, Counsel, my apologies. Would you approach briefly?
All right, chat. We're gonna wrap it up here, because we got to get ready for the 9:30 show. If you guys are new and you're not normal here, I do a weekly show every Thursday night at 9:30. I need about 30 minutes to get ready and get things kind of set up. Take care of the doggos here. We got a lot to talk about. Buc-ee's, the gas station, is suing another chain of gas stations, and this one's like, it's not even a very good lawsuit over copyright and trademark. There is also West Virginia is going to figure out how to give away machine guns to everybody, and it's kind of based. Zachary Ty Bryan from Home Improvement is he's going down the Tim Allen route of going to prison, which is interesting, which is very interesting. You wouldn't think it, but he is, and a couple other stuff we'll get to. We'll get to some other stuff there, but I wanted to let you guys know about it. So that's going to be tonight at 9:30. So make sure I didn't miss anything. Kayla says, read my last. Where? Okay. Also, the original owners of that mansion had a contractor hanged. You're never hunged. You're hanged. He hanged himself in the mansion. So that's a fun fact. Wow. But it's hanged. Just like horses are never shoed. They're shod. So I was way too happy to say trap. Well, reminds me of your mom. So I know. Well, anyways, chat, we're gonna leave it here. We will. I don't know if we're gonna have time to go over it tomorrow, but we are gonna be on locals later tonight, so we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna plow through because it's just too much to do. I am too exhausted. So with that said, chat, we're gonna wrap it up here, and yeah. Until next time, chat, always remember, well, actually, hold on here. Spud Gun for £2 sterling. The King Sterling. Says it's House episode, season 6, episode 9, Ignorance is Bliss. Oh, for the auto brewery stuff. Thank you. John Coleman for $2 says F. Thank you. The Boosh, good to see you, Boosh. Been here for 12 months as a member. Says scatter my remains at Disneyland, but don't cremate me. That would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. B Jammin says, you know what my legal advice for Kouri is? First of all, don't kill your husband. Second of all, don't make a children's book out of it. Yeah, don't tempt the fates. Never tempt the fates. It never ends well. It never ends well, Chad. So, with that said, guys, I will see you in a little while. And actually, I need to... Oh, crap, it didn't. It didn't set up. Damn it. And crap, what was the other thing I was gonna do? What was the other one here? Sorry, Chad, I had a couple. Sorry, it did not work out the way I thought it would. It's annoying when it doesn't do this. There we go. Hold on, chat. We are... Where the hell is this thing here? But no, I'm not going to lie. This one's been very convincing so far. I mean, obviously, she's got a very severe interest in telling the truth, but she seems on the money. She seems on the money. And people like people who are credible. Juries like that. They like people who are coming across as true and honest. And I don't necessarily know if she's true and honest, but she's coming across as credible, at the very least. So that said, chat, I will see you guys in about a half hour, and you guys all can take care. So good night, chat. You guys are waiting for the outro music? Yes. We got it. Here you go.
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the fat guy Rick hated yelled at?